disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
Alright, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. I know we're doing this show a little bit early, but it has to be done because I have stuff to do later. So we'll do it right now. We'll do it live. We're going to be talking about Deontay Wilder's, his future, basically, if he has one. Daniel Dubois says that he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. But apparently, Wilder will be fighting Fury. That's the plan. Frank Warren hasn't said that that fight isn't happening or anything. It's happening. Unfortunately, that fight is happening. But Daniel Dubois is right there. I'd like to see him fight Deontay Wilder. Endgame says, screw it. Do it live. That's right. Do it live. So we're going to be talking about that. Also, I made a video today. I posted it today. And it talks about how these LDBC fanboys keep talking about the first Tyson Fury fight, like the one with the floppy glove, but they never talk about the second fight. They never tell us exactly how Tyson Fury cheated. They always show those images of the floppy glove in the first fight. And so if you want to call in and tell us exactly how Tyson Fury cheated. I know we've had multiple shows talking about this, and rarely do we even... Actually, we never even gotten a caller who tried to explain how Tyson Fury cheated. But I'm giving you another chance in this show to call in and tell us how Tyson Fury cheated, all right? And again, we'll be talking about Daniel Dubois and how he would do against Deontay Wilder. All right. Hold on. Let me check who... Okay, so Stu is going to be joining us, and we have Gonzalo. Gonzalo, are you there? Yeah, he's already here. Stu and Gonzalo are joining us. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Pretty good, man. Let's talk about Daniel Dubois.
Daniel Dubois.
Dubois. Is he French or what the hell? What's the deal?
Well, Dubois is a French name, but he's French from his roots. Certainly don't look like a fucking French guy, does he? But I should think it's a slave name, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sorry to go down that route, but that's probably what it is. Unless he's probably from the Ivory Coast or somewhere like that. Senegal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, French.
From
French
the French colonist sort of thing. He's probably from one of them.
All right. Well, what do you guys think about this fight, Dubois-Wilder? Because some boxers, who was it? That British commentator, former cruiserweight. Oh, he's still fighting though.
Richie Woodall.
Macronelli.
Former cruiserweight, you mean? What? Enzo Macronelli? I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think he said that Dubois is not ready for the Wilder fight. And I disagree. I think he's ready.
A lot more will be revealed after the Joyce fight. He's still got something to prove. He might be a little too green for Deontay Wilder. That might sound incredible for me to say that because we know Wilder's very limited. But a lot more will be revealed after the Joyce fight.
Yeah, I mean, experience is very key in a boxing ring. There's no point pushing Dubois along. Like Gonzalez said, I think the Joyce fight will be that'll be a good stepping stone for him. If he can get past Joyce comfortably, then he's nearly ready for that big league. I mean, there's a jump from that level from Joe Joyce to Wilder. There's a bit of a jump at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, and it's an hard one, isn't it, with Wilder, because it's so limited. You just don't know. I mean, you could put fucking anyone in there with him on the day, and they could probably do a job. But I don't know, man. Dubois still a bit green for me. He's getting better every fight. Let's just say that. And I think if you build him properly, I think Dubois could go a long way.
He's 22
This almost
years...
might sound incredible. Also, he's 22 years old, and for a heavyweight, like everybody got to mature. Regardless if you're fucking 6'5" and 240 pounds, you're still gonna mature into an even stronger person. And he could be stronger for a heavyweight. He will. He was 22 years of age.
He already looks strong. I know what you mean, but I don't know. He kind of looks a little bit slow sometimes. When you talk about strength, are we talking about more muscle or what? Like what kind of strength are you talking about? Because here, in my opinion, he already looks strong enough. Like, listen, I'm trying to make a comparison here with Joseph Parker. Because I remember when Joseph Parker was like 23 or something, people were saying, "Oh, this guy, he's young, so this means that he's gonna be improving as he gets older." And I don't know, but with Joseph Parker, I haven't seen much improvement in this guy.
Yeah, Parker doesn't have the will and determination to be the best. You've got to have that in your stomach. You've got to have hunger to get to the top and stay there. And Joseph Parker's never been that guy for me that looks like he wants to even be there. Just turn up on the day, make sure he don't get hurt, and collect his paycheck. That's the attitude I get from Parker. Who knows? He says he's coming back and he's hungry now. So the injuries are cleared. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see. But Parker's had a couple of opportunities to really move on to the next level, and he's failed to deliver. And that's the problem with Parker. He just doesn't seem to know how to win a big fight. He seems. Even Dillian White. I mean, if he'd have started throwing punches early, he probably could have stopped Dillian White. But he left it to the fucking last round to let his hands go. I mean, who knows with Parker? He's a myth.
In the strength category, he's pretty sturdy, and you could probably surmise that he got stronger ever since he was like 22 to like 27 or 28 of age that he is now, because he fought Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua power puncher. He's taken most guys out except for him and Takam and now Ruiz. But at the time, he was able to go toe to toe with Joshua, and you got to be strong to hang in there with a bigger guy, because he's not that big for a modern day heavyweight. So I don't know about skills. Maybe he didn't improve like he should have, how he maybe like promised, as you were saying. But as far as strength, he's a strong guy. And Dubois, look, he's a big guy, 6'5". He's 22, and he's only going to mature and get stronger.
What's his weight, Dubois? How much does he weigh around?
I don't know, probably around 240.
The thing with Dubois, because he's carrying a lot of muscle, just taking him to the latter rounds could be the key. And I just think with Dubois, because he doesn't have a lot of experience of fighting in the latter rounds, like fucking digging deep and being taken to the trenches. He's never had that experience. So, the latter rounds could be a problem when he starts stepping up to the Wilder and the Joshua and the Fury levels. You just got to. This is a young kid, really. I mean, the thing with boxing, young kids can get found out very quickly when they're in there with experience, world-class experience as well. Say what you like about Wilder, shit at most things he does. Let's be real, but he's got experience. He's had like 9 title fights, so that says it all. So that might be a bit too early for me to stick Dubois in there, but you never know.
And keep in mind, he's going in there against a guy that's in his mid-30s and Joy Joyce. So that guy got his man strength, and he's a big mountain of a dude. So that'd be a good challenge to test. Also, where is he in the strength department? A young man versus a grown man in the next fight.
Stu, you mentioned experience. Wilder has experience. Can you give me an example when you saw this experience manifest itself?
Wilder's got experience. You can't take that away from him. Hang on a sec, my dog. Stay there. Wilder's got experience. I mean, fucking 9 title defenses tells me so. You know, whether he looked good in them fights is a different fucking story, but it's still experience. It's still been there. It's still, you know, he's been in big fights with the big lights on him. All right, he fucking crumbled in the second one, but he's still there, wasn't he? You know, that's something he's going to take with him when he's in his next fight. That experience of being beat up in front of the world, you know, that's experience you can't buy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
right. That's right. He might have limitation on his skills, but he still was able to like weather the storm in the Ortiz fights and the many times he's gotten hurt, and got that power where he can keep composed and draw this guy into like deep waters. As Stu was saying, this guy had never been there because he's a young guy.
Now we're talking about Dubois, whether he's ready or not, and we also have to wait and see him fight Joe Joyce, right? See how good he actually is, if he's ready for a Deontay Wilder fight. Now, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, he will be fighting Tyson Fury a third time. What will he look like? I mean, we have to imagine that Wilder's going to lose against Tyson Fury. How will he lose, and how will he cope with that type of loss, a third loss?
Well, look, the thing we shouldn't do is get overconfident, where we think Tyson's just got to turn up, put the gloves on, job done. I mean, at the end of the day, this guy's still fucking dangerous, whether you like him or not. He's still dangerous. It's how he's responding mentally to this beatdown. I mean, it doesn't look good on the outside. It looks like he's fucking lost his mind.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might be a hungry lion when he comes back. He might be like fucking Rocky Balboa when he lost to Clubber Lang. You just don't know, do you? I mean, but
well, Stu, how likely is
it? If I was to put my money on a situation happening, it would be Tyson Fury to stop him again.
Exactly. Like, will he be damaged goods? Is he already damaged goods? I mean, I don't know. It
Possibly.
feels like...
Possibly.
Yeah, go
ahead. Those bicep injuries are pretty bad. Like, Usyk got that injury, and I just recall that throughout history, people that tear their biceps, those things don't heal the same. That's why he might be not, because of the beating, maybe as well. It could be traumatizing, getting knocked out the way he did and having to make all those excuses, not owning up to it. You know?
We've got the founder of the Daniel Dubois fan club in the chat. Right?
What's he saying?
I just want to say to him, the problem with Daniel Dubois that I see is when you go back and look at the Kevin Bum Bum Johnson fight. All right, he's got better since then, but you saw him getting frustrated when Johnson was going nowhere, and that's the problem. He's used to hitting them, and they fall over. But when someone's not falling over and punching back, that's when you see what fighters are really made of. And I ain't seen, Dubois not had that test for me yet, so Joyce will bring that. Joyce is going to be a fucking hard fight for him, because if Joyce can take the sting off Dubois' punches early, or, just hang in there, just try and take a bit of his tank, and then just fucking work his way slowly into the fight, like a Joe Gallagher game plan. I think this is the only time it's fucking work in my eyes, where you lose a few rounds, but you sort of like take the tank from him. And then you come on strong, because Joyce throws a lot of punches. He's not going to run out of steam. The amateur background proves that. He's going to be fucking. He's going to be in there for the long haul, and I think that's when he can get to Dubois and stop Dubois himself. So let's just see, because that fight for me is that's not one where Daniel Dubois dominates Joe Joyce. This could be a real upset for me. This is one where Daniel Dubois could be set back a bit.
That's right. It's a true test. It's a true test. He is kind of slow, so that we'll see if Joy Joyce can piece him. You said, Bucho, that Daniel Dubois is a slow fighter. I actually
Yeah.
thought he was kind of fast. I thought he was fast, but I haven't really seen enough of him. So I might be kind of wrong on that.
No, you're right. When he's in on the inside, I saw him throw like a 1-2 left hook, and it was pretty fast. But sometimes when he throws that lead right hand, it looks slow. But definitely he has power, and
Yeah,
it's
it
not
doesn't-
like it's
no,
that
Joyce
difficult
has
to
got a
hit
good
Deontay
chin.
Wilder. Go ahead.
Joyce has got a good chin as well, man. Like I said, people in the chat just think it's going to be over quickly. We'll see about that. You know, what happens when fucking Joyce lands a big one? He throws. Joyce doesn't look like he's putting much into the shots, but every time they land, they seem to be doing. They seem to be doing damage, though.
Yeah, pretty dirty.
It's a bit like George Foreman. He looks a little bit.
Yeah, very like Foreman, where he doesn't look like there's much in the shots, but it's just technique sort of thing, or he sort of loops them, doesn't he? But there's so much fucking power behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the problem with Joyce is that he could be getting tagged up on the inside because the bar's quite tidy on the inside. It's quite explosive. So
yeah, that's right. Quite
so
explosive.
For me,
that's right.
if I was Joyce, I'd take it to back to the amateurs. Stay behind the guard, stay behind the jab, and just stay at range and try and slow Dubois down for the latter rounds. That'd be my game plan for Dubois.
Frank Warren is the one that seems to be very enthusiastic about this Dubois Wilder fight. What do you guys think? Does it make sense to happen like maybe next year?
Sure, if Wilder will take the challenge.
Frank
apparently,
pretty confident.
Dubois the future. You know, Steve Kim and Dougie Fisher are real high on him.
Yeah, and Frank Warren as well. Do you think
There's
that
another thing I was going to mention?
Yeah,
I thought he was pretty loose and limber and relaxed. Some people are saying that I've heard comments here and there that he's kind of tight, and stiff. What's the truth about Daniel Dubois? Is he loose and limber, or is he tight and stiff?
Robotic's probably a better word.
You think so?
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of robotic about him. Probably telegraphs his shots a little bit too much, and world-class fighters are going to see them coming all day long. I mean, so like I said about Kevin Boom Boom Johnson, horrible fighter to watch, just dreadful. Has no business in a boxing ring, but one thing he does know how to do is survive. Experience from taking shots and reading people and knowing when to cover up and get on the ropes. Frustrated the life out of Dubois.
yeah. All right, we have a phone call, so let's take it right now. 832, you're on the air. 832.
Hello?
Yep, you're on the air.
Now, what I see with what you call it, Dubois, man, he could let his combinations go, man. So.
He has a good chance against Wilder.
If he, like, all right, look, check it. They say that what do you call it? They say that he's too slow, right?
Yeah.
But what I saw in his last fight is like, what do you call it? He set that up. He sets his shots up though. That's the thing. Like he might be slow, but he sets up his shots well.
Yeah, the timing.
Well placed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, he's a good fighter. No one said. I mean, all the Dubois crybabies in the chat. Look, we're here to fucking. We're not. Look, this is a channel where this is not a fanboy channel. We like to break it down from both sides, how both fighters can win the fight. If you don't like that, then fuck off back to Dubois' channel because you're not going to get what you're looking for here. This is how it is. At the end of the day, Dubois is you're going on like Dubois is this monster that no one can beat. Look, he's a very good fighter, but he's learning. He's a young kid. And if you want to stick him in there with Wilder now, don't come back to me when he's fucking sleeping on the canvas.
Go ahead, caller.
Shit. I mean, that's still a good fight. So, now I don't know. Maybe Wilder might beat him though. So, like, pretty good. So I don't know.
Okay, so you're saying that Dubois is not as slow as some of us think he is. Basically, you're saying that he has good timing.
Yeah, like from what I saw when he fought that Nathan Gorman dude, He baited Nathan Gorman to throw that jab, and he came around it with the right hand, and he dropped him. So, I mean, he has good timing. He has like
he was too
set up his shot.
He was he was too strong for Gorman. That was the problem with Gorman. Gorman just hit him, and nothing happened, and that's very disheartening when you're in there with a guy and you're throwing everything you got at him, and he's just walking forward and launching bombs at you at the same time. And I just saw he broke fucking Gorman's spirit and his heart. But Joyce is a different. Look, Joyce, he's just terrible to watch. Let's be real. He's not. I'm not pretending Joyce is some fucking world beater here, but Olympic silver medal, which I thought he got a gold because he got robbed. So he's got some know-how. You don't win gold medals in the Olympics if you're fucking trash. So he's tough. He's durable. He's got a very good chin. He ain't just gonna fucking fall over when he gets hit on the chin. If you think that, then you're fucking daft. You're daft yourself. But look, Dubois should get the job done. You know, if Dubois is what everyone's saying he is, then he should get the job done.
Anything else, caller?
What do you call it? How do you think Dubois would do against a tall dude like Fury?
Beat up. You
can't box and beat up.
Look, please, boys, please. We have to calm the fuck down. I've seen it so many times on this channel where people get so overhyped for a fight. We just have to take him back, let him grow. You stick him in there with Tyson Fury, he'll get his heart stolen. He'll get his confidence stolen. I mean, Wilder. Look what Fury did to Wilder mentally. What's he going to do to a young kid? Come on, man.
Yeah. Good point. All right, caller. Anything else?
Actually, now that I think about it, he got some speed, but when he's in the pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I noticed also. And just that right hand. Sometimes the lead right hand looks kind of slow, but I mean, yeah, he's not a bad boxer. All right, thanks for the call, man. Take care.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, let's take another phone call. Sorry, 773. You're on the air. 773.
Daniel Dubois.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Tyson Fury comes out, undresses Wilder, exposes him, and all of a sudden he's going to come out and say, I'll fight him now. Well, where were you when he was on top of the world, knocking everybody out? Now all of a sudden he gets knocked out. Now you want to fight him? No, I don't think so. You need to get to the back of the line and work your way up, young man, because you got a lot of work to do. There's plenty of contenders for him to fight to prove himself, and I don't like that. The dude gets knocked out, then all of a sudden, well, I'll fight him now. Now I'll fight him. This is not a good look, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It's a good point. He's 22 years old. His biggest fight is going to be Joe Joyce, which is coming up soon, I guess, or next. You're right. I mean, Wilder, say what you want about the guy. He's still a former world champion.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Does he deserve a fight with Wilder?
Dubois reminds me a bit like Teofimo Lopez. Well, he's like
that's a nice comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a young Teofimo. He's like a Teofimo Lopez, where he's young, he's knocking people out, he's confident, and he's chasing after the big name straight away. And it's good to see. But if you're gonna break it down from a boxing point of view, like we're trying to do on this show, a smart way to do things and build a career, then you've got to probably avoid people like that. I think Joyce is the perfect fight for him. And then when we've seen the Joyce fight, we can take it from there. But when people are talking about sticking him in with Fury and Wilder and Joshua, I mean, come on, just take a fucking step back here.
Listen, unless Wilder's damaged goods, he chin checks Dubois and it's over. You know what I'm saying? So he better be careful. Look, I'm not going to say he can't. I'm not going to say that because heavyweight business is a lot different. You know, all it takes is power and a shot. And we know that Wilder is all over the place. I get all that. But he's got to understand that it works for him too. And if Wilder lands on him on that young, 22, unexperienced chin, it could be lights out. And like Stu said earlier, that could break your confidence. And you're not the same after that.
Hey, Kevin, what's wrong with a young boxer calling out the best in the division?
I think they got to earn it. They got to earn it because winning the title fight is not as hard as beating all the young, hungry contenders to get to the title fight. Earning your weight and winning that title fight. On any given day, he could win a title fight. You saw what happened. You look at what happened with Andy Ruiz and Joshua. But the hard part is going through Killer's Row to get to that title fight. So that's why I say, I mean, Daniel Dubois, he very may well beat Wilder. Wilder's not the best fighter on the planet. His technique is lacking greatly. So it's not like he's some world beater. He can't be beat. But I'm just saying, earn your way up. Fight someone like a Fight
that's
all
true,
these other
caller.
young
That's true.
contenders trying to make a name too.
Look,
That's my point.
If Wilder was so easy to beat, then why is Tyson Fury the only man to do it? All right, he's been in there with a few cans. Yes, we know that. But look, any man can win a fight on the day. Why is Tyson Fury, the best out there, the only one that's been able to do it right now? So look, this guy, he looks horrible on the eye. He does, but take him for granted and underestimate him, and you'll be asleep on the canvas in no time. And Dubois just does the wrong things for me right now. Comes a little bit square, sometimes a little bit slow and telegraphic. Wilder, he lands that fucking right hand, mate. I'm telling you. Like Recognize said.
Yeah, go ahead, Oz.
Yeah, go ahead, Recognize. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's the one thing I will give Deontay Wilder credit, is that if you stand too square in front of him, he's quick to pull the trigger, and he usually lands. And we see the reaction. You know, we see most guys' reaction. Look, like you said, Fury, different ball game. Fury had this guy's timing. He has the guy's number, but it's Fury because this is a guy who has tremendous heavyweight pedigree. You know what I'm saying? You don't see too many skilled fighters like him and his size and whatnot. So that's a different ball game. But Dubois, 22 years old, bro. Like Stu said, a little too square up. That's Wilder's target. You know what I'm saying? That's his target zone.
He gets a little too trigger happy with his left and his right hook. I'm watching some highlights of him now, and that's why he kind of squares up so he can volley from left to right and from right to left. And yeah, he can abuse that. He can get caught with some punches.
Hey,
he likes to exchange. That's why he squares up.
That's a good. Yeah, he squares up like that.
Don't make me laugh though. But now Fury's exposed Wilder for how bad he is. Everyone's jumped on the fucking bandwagon. Like Wilder can't beat anyone now. I mean, you know, you can fucking bring...
hold on, I just want to say something because Kevin's still on the line. And Kevin, before you go, a lot of people in the chat are saying that, well, how come Gerald Washington, and all these other guys that fought Wilder, did they deserve a title shot?
Hell no.
So how come Dubois doesn't? That's what they're saying.
That wasn't the fucking topic. We're not talking about whether they deserve a fucking title shot. No, we're talking about whether Daniel Dubois is good enough to beat Wilder. And Wilder's got experience, whether you like it or not, and he's got a very dangerous right hand. And if you come square on against Deontay Wilder, you know, with your hands down, then you're going to be asleep. I don't care who you are.
Kevin, go ahead.
Just because Gerald Washington got a title shot and he didn't earn it, he didn't deserve it, doesn't mean Daniel Dubois should. So I agree, Gerald Washington shouldn't have been in there, but that doesn't mean Daniel Dubois just because someone else got it. My point is, was Daniel Dubois calling out Wilder when he was a champ? When Wilder was knocking people stiff, we didn't hear a word out of Daniel Dubois. Then now, since Wilder took an L, now all of a sudden he's got the courage to speak Wilder's name. So I don't like that.
All right.
Call him out when he's a champ at least. Peace out.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, can I just ask the caller something quickly before he goes?
Oh, he's gone.
Is he there?
He's gone.
Kevin, you there?
I'll ask you panelists quickly, right? Yeah. I'm getting a bit shit in the chat talking about because I'm sort of like backing Wilder a little bit. Who have you got? I'm going to ask all you guys now. Who have you got if Dubois fights Wilder next? Butcher, you first.
Dubois. I'm not even joking, man. I'm not even joking, man. I got Dubois, man, coming forward, pushing the guy back.
No, that's fine. I was telling you what to pick. I just want to know.
Listen, that's fine.
I just want to know where people are. Recognize who you got.
I got Wilder. Wilder would knock
Yeah.
him
What
out.
about you, Gonzalo?
Yeah, right.
I'll probably say Wilder, but I'm gonna explain this fight real fast. Look, the caller's
Go ahead.
referring to. The caller said that he don't like the fact that he's calling Wilder now that he took the L. Look, if you would have called him when he was champion, and we go 1 year back, Dubois would have been 21. He would have been 21, and he would have been, and then Wilder would have been champion. He would have done what Mike Tyson did, broken the record as the youngest heavyweight, if not tied it or beat it by months. I don't know how old the guy is, but that would have been amazing. So, for him to do that, could you say that he would do that? Probably not, because he'd be breaking a record that's only been done once. So at this point, yeah, he's lost, but he's been a champion before. So it's kind of too close to call. 22 years of age, barely just maturing. And I think that he probably would get caught. And if he was able to beat him, that would be a great achievement, even though Wilder's not champion any longer.
Yeah.
But I still kind of slightly favor Wilder for
Yeah.
those reasons.
I'd say the same reasons really for me with Gonzalo. I recognise. I mean, if you want to break down why you think it would go that way.
I mean, look, Dubois is. I do agree. He squares up for a reason. He's doing it to to set up like other punches. I get all that, but Wilder, because of look, I'm assuming that Wilder can still punch. There's all these reports coming out that he hurt his bicep and stuff like that. That's not no joke. You know what I'm saying? But Wilder can still punch and knock him out, and his radar is you standing square up, kind of in front of him. And the one thing that I will give Wilder is that he doesn't wait that long for you to do that. He just waits for you to stop punching, and once you stop, he lets it go. Like he did with Ortiz. And Ortiz, yes, he's an older man, but as soon as he hits you, he makes immediate impact. And I just think because Dubois is young, that plays into Wilder's wheelhouse. Wilder's a young man, but he's got that veteran young man blood in him now. He's 35, 34, so he's been around the block. He'll know that Dubois. He'll know what to expect from a 22-year-old because he was 22. So he's gonna let him feel a little confident, even to the point where he squares up and stays in that wheelhouse. And Wilder's gonna pull the trigger. And I don't think Dubois beats. I don't think he gets up from that. I'm not saying he gets stone cold knocked out. I just don't think he recovers on time. Can he knock Wilder out? Look, man, this is what happens when you get beat up as bad as he did. It's possible.
Here's one for the chat. Here's one for the Dubois fan club in the chat and the rest. If Dillian White v Dubois was made next, who you got in that one? I recognise you can go first. And the people in the chat, tell me who you got and I'll read it out.
Oh, Dillian White and Dubois?
Yeah.
I got White for the same reason, experience, just a little different. He's not a... He could punch hard too. I mean, don't get it. He may not spark you out with one punch the way Wilder does, but he's capable. His power lasts is long. We saw it against Chisora. He knocked him out late when I thought he was losing that fight.
Yeah, I mean,
Dillian White's a veteran, baby. You better be.
Everybody's saying White.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me just go. We've got SSB 28 says Dillian White, Smarty Jones, who's the bar beat, David Banner, White. KNM 84, 50-50, Smarty Jones, White, Boxing Virus says White, Carlos Mendoza says White, SSB 28 says, where's all the bar fans gone?
There's one guy, nobody.
Look, I think this is more to do with the Wilder hate than fucking Dubois love by the looks of things.
No, James Dorothy got Dubois.
Timmy Nealon says White, Smarty Jones says White,
right,
again, JD, I got White over Dubois, Cab Zyphy, White. John Gordon's talking about Wilder. Dillian says Greg. I mean, come on, man. Where's all the love for fucking Dubois gone all of a sudden?
Yeah, if I show you White getting rocked in the 12th round.
This was the monster that was going to walk through Dillian White and walk through Deontay Wilder around. Yeah, I'll put Dillian White in there and he ain't got no chance. What's going on here?
Guys, I have a phone call, so let's take it. 470. You're on the air, 470.
What's going on, guys? Good topic as usual. I think boxing fans need to make up their minds. One of the things I look for when I see a young fighter come up, Does he want the smoke? You have a guy like a Dubois who wants it. You got other young guys like a Tank Davis who don't want it, who duck, who hide, who don't want to fight Lomachenko. You got guys like Teofimo Lopez who want it. When I see guys like that who call out the champions at a young age, I mean, you got to remember, you know, we're talking about 22, 21, like they're babies. These guys are in the gym. They're fresh. They're hungry. They're fit. They're running the miles. These guys in their 30s and 40s, they aren't doing that. They aren't training that hard. This guy's in the gym every day. He's fit. He's prime. He's hungry. That's when you're supposed to want the challenge. That's when you're supposed to want the fight, you know? So I think it's a great thing. I mean, Tyson Fury did the same thing. When he was calling out Klitschko, everybody thought he was crazy. They thought he had no chance. Oh, look at this. Look, you know, it's the same thing. So I like what I see from Daniel Dubois challenging Wilder. And then when we hear, I think it was a previous caller talking about you've got to earn it. Did Deontay Wilder earn it? I mean, who did Deontay Wilder, you know, beat? He beat Bermane Stiverne. I know he's old.
No, he didn't. No, you're right.
He beat Ollie Harrison. You forgot Ollie Harrison. He knocked him out.
I think what the caller's point was making is that when Wilder held that belt before Tyson Fury took him to school and beat him up, Dubois was quite quiet.
I'm saying is you take.
Yeah, I think what the caller was trying to say is now Fury's exposed him for what he really is.
Yeah, I think that's what Kevin was saying. Yeah.
You take your
What I do see to the caller,
let the caller go. Let the caller. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. So I was just saying, you take your opportunity, you know, whenever you can. And if Dubois feels he can beat, I mean, I was saying before the Fury fight, that, you know, Wilder's never really fought anybody with power and skill, you know, and athletic. You know, that's why he was avoiding Dylan White. You know, and it just so happens that Tyson Fury was the one to get the job done. But I mean, there's other contenders in the division. I think there's other people in the division who could beat Wilder, not to take away from Fury's victory. But, I mean, if Dubois, I mean, I'm sure he thinks he can beat Deontay Wilder. I don't know why he wouldn't think so. He probably looks at himself. He says, I'm a better skilled fighter, more technique. I'm younger. I'm fitter. I'm fresher. I got KO power. So, you know, if he feels he can do it.
But like, I know, look, I've known Frank Warren long enough to know that he will go nowhere near them big guys right now. He's got it's got a gem on his hands if he does it right. But if you stick him in there and he gets knocked the fuck out, confidence shot to pieces, the aura's gone, all these little fangirls in the chat will be gone, and he's rebuild again. And it's very hard to rebuild a fight that's just been.
If he KOs Joe Joyce, why not? Let's do it.
That's going to be interesting. I agree with the caller. If he knocks out Joyce, even me, and he does it in impressive fashion where there's skill, you could tell he knew what he was doing. It's not like, you know, Joyce, whatever his name is, fucked up. It's something that he earned. Yeah, you know what? I would agree with the caller. That is a sign that he can probably beat a guy like Wilder, because Wilder, what's the blueprint now? Make him fight off the back foot, right? That's the blueprint. Just pressure him, make him fight off the back foot. Now, I don't think it's as easy as that. I think that you have to have certain advantages that Fury has. Also, it helps. Excuse me. The advantages that Fury has helps because he's 6'9", very long arms, so he could catch a guy like Wilder even when he's going back with his chin up. He could catch him at the end of his punch. So there's a lot of things that play into that. But if Dubois beats Joyce and he does it in dominant fashion, I can't blame him or his promoters if they're like, look, change of plan, fast track now. We want the Wilder fight. I wouldn't blame him. But
look, I'm happy for that.
Joyce and see what happens.
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for him to see where I just said that. We'll see where he is after the Joyce fight. But we haven't had the Joyce fight yet, and these guys are talking about Fury and fucking Joshua and Wilder and everyone else. Let's see how it goes with the Joyce. If he goes through Joyce like a fucking doorway, then yeah, you got to start looking at this kid and think, yeah, he's ready. But if he's in there with Joyce and he's struggling and he's fucking hanging on for dear life at the end, maybe he has to have a couple more.
What if Wilder gets knocked out even earlier this time against Fury?
Yeah,
and will Wilder
even be around after another defeat? That's another question.
I do see
Yeah.
the intentions to really fast track this guy because he fought 5 times in 2019. He fought 3 in 18, but he fought also 5 in 17. What I see, if he beats Joyce, that like how Anthony Joshua's got a real good resume, they're gonna try to build him up to potentially be at the point where Joshua was, or to surpass him by the time he's Joshua's age, because they're calling this guy the future, and they kind of want to be at that level where they can outdo Joshua and make a great champion out of Daniel Dubois.
I just think that Olympics experience, right, just made him a little bit more advanced than Dubois is when it comes to the career at this time of their career. I just think when you look who he's fighting in the 16th fight, I mean Klitschko. I mean, so Josh, I don't know Daniel, but like I said, we don't know where he looks the goods, but we don't know where he is until he fights Joyce for me, and until then, there's just no.
So Stu, the boys started boxing. What age? What was his age? What, 18, 19?
I don't know, mate. Like I said, he's very.
Well, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
this
is
22.
Listen, this
19.
guy is just using. This guy is just using his genetics, his athleticism, and his strength at the moment. And a bit of boxing fundamentals as well. You can't just go in there without that. But he's learning.
I mean,
he
looks like a big. He looks like a strong motherfucker. If I didn't know him, I could tell he's strong. Like he's just a real strong kid. Now, being strong and being experienced, we both know that's a total different, animal. It's different. I mean, look at Fury. Does Fury look like the kind? If you didn't know shit about boxing, does Fury look like the kind of guy that could beat Wilder? If you saw Wilder standing next to him, you had no idea who they were. You would never think that. Boxing is about experience. It's about how you move in that ring. Mm-hmm. Heavyweight business, it's about strength, and I agree with that. But the guy with a little boxing savvy usually goes
and
far.
Mobility, speed,
right?
Yeah.
Now, if he had the cat-like reflexes of a Roy Jones or a Mike Tyson, I would say, oh hell yes, he's got a chance, real good chance. But I don't think he's that fast. He is explosive, but he's not that fast. Like those guys.
Hey guys, we still have a caller in 470. You're on the air. They're still on the air.
Go ahead, 470.
Yep. I saw Dubois fight with Nathan Gorman. I don't know. I saw a good jab. I saw good skills. I saw a guy who was patient. I saw a guy setting up his punches. That's what I saw. And he's fit, strong, young, athletic. I wouldn't say. I mean, obviously, I don't think he would beat Tyson Fury at this point. But if a guy, like I've always said, if a guy has power, speed, and skill, he can take out Deontay Wilder. And so I don't see why he would. I mean, he's got KO power, so I don't see why he would doubt himself.
And a chin too. You need a chin to take some of those punches.
No one's saying that Dubois can't beat Deontay Wilder. No one's saying that at all. What we're saying is he's a young kid, lack of experience. If he walks square onto one, a big right hand from Deontay Wilder, he's going to be a fucking sleep. And then it's how do you rebuild a young kid from that? Because I've seen, all the years I've been watching, I've seen a lot of talented young kids come through, take an ass whooping, and they've just never been the same. And that's what I don't want from this kid, because I know he can go to the top. He's there to replace Joshua when Joshua gets fucking knocked out again. They're gonna push him aside and stick Daniel Dubois on the crown. That's what they're gonna try and do. But like I said, just take your time, because it's gonna be a shame if he goes in there. But he's better than Wilder at everything nearly. He is. Let's be real. But that's not always enough. That's not always enough. And in boxing, it's like I said, experience, know-how. I mean, look, craftiness in the boxing ring. These guys with experience, they're crafty. They're not easy to fucking catch. I'm not saying Wilder's that, but Dubois is going to come across these fighters, and it's whether he's ready for that sort of thing. I mean, like I said, there's so many different styles he'll come across. At the moment, he's just punching them and they're falling over. But it's when they start walking through his shots to get their own off. That's when your fucking ass starts to go and you think, oh, what do I do now? And that's when you see the true fighters. A lot of them fall to pieces. A lot of them rise to the occasion. That's all I'm saying.
Remember a few months back when everybody was like really, really high on Effie Ajagba? Then he all of a sudden he was in a tough fight and got dropped, and that kind of hype went away. He's at that stage where he could get found out, or he can get landed on by a clean punch, and then everybody won't have the same sentiments.
Well,
that they're
I
echoing
remember
right now.
Stu, Precise, a couple of us in here. I think even Bucho. Well, maybe not Bucho, but we all said after the Parker fight, he looked suspect. I remember after that fight. First of all, it was a boring fight, but I remember thinking. I'll just speak for myself. I remember thinking he looks very beatable.
Who,
looks
Joshua?
Like Joshua. I remember saying, looks like if some kind of changed my opinion about what I thought about him and Wilder. I still would have taken Joshua at that point, and I'd probably take him now. But I remember thinking, man, what if Wilder landed on him like that?
He looked slow. I think Precise compared him to RoboCop, the way he moved.
Yeah,
there's something
to that. You know, I don't really give him any. I don't take points away from him what happened with Klitschko. And the reason why is because, dude, all you got to do is, I know it was Klitschko's last fight, and he's not in his prime, but go look at Klitschko the way he looked in that fight. He looked in immaculate shape. The only problem was couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't finish the job. So therefore, you know, he gave Joshua a little breathing room, and this is where I gave Joshua credit was, you know, he's young, or inexperienced at that point, and knew how to handle that situation. And so that's why I gave him props. But after the Parker fight, I had questions about him and whether or not he could take a guy's punch like Wilder.
Yep. Caller, anything else?
Joshua, I just wanted to touch on that last point about Joshua. I think Joshua, I think after that Klitschko fight, especially the fact he was dropped, he mentioned, you know, he told his trainer he wanted to change his style. You know, he didn't want to have a lot of fights like that. I can't remember the name of the guy he fought right after Klitschko. Takam. There was a lack of aggression. We've seen a lack of aggression in him in his fights after that Klitschko fight. Me personally, I don't think Joshua has that fire to fight anymore. I think he's just, you know, it's just how he earns his money. He's famous because of it. I mean, that's just just watching his fight since the Klitschko fight. I just don't see the fight, and that's why I encourage. I mean, I agree with Stu a little bit. I encourage, you know, I think young fighters, I think you should go for it while you got that fire. You know, I'm not a big fan of waiting until your late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
For big matchups. While you know, when you got that fire in
that's
you,
what
you really want to. When you want to fight, that's the best time to make these fights happen.
Well, he did take the immediate rematch with Ruiz. He did take the immediate. Sorry, Stu. He took the immediate rematch with Ruiz, and he went right into the gym. He took no time off. So that's
the thing is, though, like I said, it doesn't matter how young they are. It's what they've had in front of them, and I like to see a fighter, like I said, being there with someone like Joe Joyce, who's going to bring different dimensions, going to bring a fight to him, to see how he copes with that, and then we can talk about all the rest. But you know, we're talking about him knocking everyone out, and who's he beat? I mean, what, fucking Gorman and Bum Johnson? The fuck out of here. Like I said, very good fighter. I'm British, so I'm backing this kid. You know, you guys are going on like I fucking don't like this kid or something. I just keep it real. I'm on this show to keep it real from a boxing perspective and how, you know, we've got to break it from both sides. We can't just say, well, one guy's going to whoop this guy's ass, that's it, show over. We have to bring it from both sides. And look, Goodbar's still a kid, you know, and like I said, experience is very, very handy in the boxing ring.
Joe Joyce would bring the fire, kind of like Antonio Margarito style. Just come forward, throw a lot of punches, don't stop, and probably take everything you got as well.
Well, Fury's a different animal, man. Fury's a different animal. There's not only skill, there's mind control there. The guy knows how to play mind games with you by the way he reacts, his smile. He looks like he's shook, and then out of nowhere, he's pointing in your fucking face. He's very deceptive, that dude. So he's a very
do you know what Fury would do? Do you know what Fury would do? Fury would jab his way into Dubar and then just hold and maul him and take that tank from him. That would be a scrappy affair early on. Fury's not in the business of getting in the pocket trading with Dubois because he'll get knocked the fuck out. So he needs to use his boxing skills, you know, in and out like he was against Wilder, and then maul and.
I think a lot of people are
manhandle on the
looking at what
inside.
he did to Wilder and they're saying, I can do that. And I'm like, look, he did it with skill. There's no doubt. He did it skill versus lack of Wilder, right? So, but it was also mind games. He started to play into it. He started to play into his heart. Like, I don't think people understand the other intangibles about a fight. When you hate somebody, talked a lot of shit, and he starts fucking you up, brother, your mind starts to scramble so fast, your heart starts to beat so fast that you kind of collapse, you drown.
I was really impressed with his composure before the Wilder fight. He looked very calm, cool and relaxed.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I was looking at Wilder's wide eyes, and I was saying, this is a guy who's having a panic attack. This is his worst nightmare is happening. His worst nightmare is happening. A guy that he can't stand because he's been talking shit about him is beating the fuck out of him. When you talk shit about a certain individual and he's fucking you up,
It's like his worst nightmare is becoming a reality, basically.
It's like this is Freddy Krueger, like at that
exactly.
moment.
Hey, caller, anything else? Get him.
No, good topic, guys. I just reiterate again. I think Dubois. I see good things in him. I think he's the future, but
he might be, bro. He might be. I'll give you that. He's got the look, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for calling in, man. Take care.
And it also behooves some of these guys if like Dubois challenges you, go ahead and fight him. Fight him while it's early, while he's still young, before he gets better.
And here's the thing. Yeah, Gonzalo, good point. I just want to say something because, listen, if Dubois displays boxing skills, if he dominates Joyce, like, what else do you need to see from him? Like, if he fights Deontay Wilder after that, listen, Wilder, we're assuming that he will no longer be a champion because he loses against Tyson Fury. So it's not a title fight. So you know what I mean? It's not like Dubois getting a title shot. He's fighting a guy.
Can I just interrupt, brother? Butcher, can I just interrupt quickly?
Go ahead.
How the fuck do I make a donation to this channel, man? How do I do this super chat shit?
I have no idea.
Oh, you can do it through Patreon. You got a Patreon?
No, it's not Patreon. Well, he could do
I
a
don't
Patreon.
do that signing up to Patreon. I just wanted to fucking.
But Stu, I told you, you don't need to do any donation. You don't need to donate anything, man.
Look, just tell me how to fucking do it, man.
I don't know, man.
On the chat, there's a little sign like for the money sign.
Yeah, there's like a dollar
sign,
super chat,
and then you put your credit card information.
On the chat on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, where you put your comments on the right hand side corner. There's a little money sign.
I'll have a look.
I have no idea.
Stu's about to drop that pesos, those pounds.
Those pounds.
You know what I'm saying? He was slanging that. He was slanging those kilos out there.
Yeah. You asked me, Bucho, how much does Daniel Dubois weigh? I kept thinking of pounds. It's kind of hard. The metric system.
Yeah, somebody said 240.
That big boy looks like
14 stone.
Yo, he's 6'5". You remember back in the days you had Lennox 6'5", and sometimes you got like, oh man, he's a big heavyweight.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Lennox was up. Lennox Lewis. When I saw him in person, I got the impression he was taller than that. But that was, remember, it's all about how somebody stands. You never really know. But
plus that hair makes us look like the Predator.
Yeah, that's true too. You know what? I was thinking the same thing. But I remember one thing that stood out about Lennox Lewis. God damn, he has some mitts on him. The hands. Look, man, I got average size hands for a guy, I guess my size. I wouldn't say my hands are small. But when I shook his hand, it felt small compared to his. He has some huge hands. It was like, the fuck? This guy was born to punch. It made me understood why he had that effect on people when he would hit them with the overhand right. And I look at Dubois, bro. I'm like, yo. But again, man, a lot of these guys look like bodybuilders. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it is when Joyce is gonna give him problems. I'm expecting Joyce to give him some problems. So win, lose, we'll see how he comes out of that.
He's also undefeated. same KO percentage. He's got 10 wins and 9 knockouts. So Dubois got 14 wins and 13
Precise
knockouts.
is big on that on Joyce. Precise. He likes Joyce.
14 or 15. Joyce, yeah. He fought in the amateurs. He fought Usyk, the World Series of Boxing, the 6-rounder for the amateurs tournament.
Well, I don't know. After that fight, I looked. I thought Usyk clearly beat him.
That's a good indication for how Usyk, like, if he was able to deal with him. I know it's the amateurs that he could probably do well in the heavyweights.
Yeah. You know something, and I kind of agree with that, Gonzalo, because if you look, he got hurt with a body shot in the amateurs against and the pros too. But in the amateurs, he got hurt with body shots against what's our boy Beterbiev, right? Now Beterbiev hits like a fucking, there's a good indication that he probably hits like a cruiser or a heavyweight, right? Like he's got that kind of power. But it made me wonder: is he hurting like that because he's maintaining weight? He's actually bigger than what he is, or was it Beterbiev just hits that hard, or a combination of both? You know what I'm saying? Because when you saw him against Joyce, he looked really strong. Because I believe he fought Joyce at super heavyweight at the World Boxing. Because I can't imagine Joyce
super heavyweight. Wait, what are the weights they have?
Yeah. Well,
it's what, 220 and more, or?
Well, over
and above?
201, right? I mean, amateur level is like this. From what I remember, right? Maybe it changed, but any heavyweight was 200 or 201 or 202, one of those three. Okay, and anything over that would be super heavyweight. Yeah, now you're entering the super heavyweight division. So
Smarty
I don't
Jones
think Joyce
says it was super heavyweight.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I figured that because no way Joyce would be 201, 202. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So he fought at super heavyweight, and in that super series, when he fought Joyce, he was backing him up at times. He even backed him up. And Joyce is a big boy. Even then, he was 240, 250, and so I don't know. I think
we have to wait and see. Guys, we have another phone call. Sorry, 929. You're on the air. 929.
Yo, what up, Kombucha? You hear me okay?
Yo, what's up? I can hear you.
Okay. All right. My thing is this on Daniel Dubois. I haven't seen much of him to have an opinion on him for obvious reason that he fights in the UK. So I haven't got to see that many, Frank Warren cards on the internet, hard to keep track of. But I just look at it as they're trying to fast track this guy's career. Because if I recall, you had a show, I think, last week where Tyson Fury was considering fighting until 40, right? So my thing is this. Do you believe, like, Frank Warren is trying to build a fight between Fury and Danny Dubois in the future in case, Joshua, if there's a Fury, still continue to have difficulties, setting up a fight?
No. Damn, Stu Little, thank you for the big contribution. 100 pounds. Jesus. Stu's loaded now.
That's big time money right there, boy.
Jesus.
He got that Rona check.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna end up in Mexico.
You finally sent me my check.
Oh yeah, the BDA check. Yeah, we left it in the cafeteria. Remember, the BDA cafeteria.
Okay. All right, you got it. I'll take care of that.
Hey, Stu, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. You didn't have to. I told you, man. But
he said he was gonna pay for all Michael Stott's contributions.
It's true, man. He actually did.
I just said that should cover the cost of all the heathens I've ran off this show, but well worth it, that £100. And like I said, you guys deserve it. You do this for fuck all, and look, mate.
I told you you didn't have to because you already contribute to the show, right? Like by being here.
Yeah, but no, don't worry about that, man. Get yourself a drink on me.
All right. Well, we'll have that drink when I go to the UK then. Sorry, Virtuoso. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to know because, like, you brought up the fact that, well, I don't know if it's legit that Tyson Fury is going to fight to 40. Is that true?
Yeah. But then again, taking into account that Fury changes his mind every fucking day. So
exactly, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that Frank Warren is thinking way ahead of Joe Joyce. I agree with Gonzalez. It's like all will be revealed when he fights him. You know, let's see what happens. I think they just pump the brakes, take it one fight at a time. You know, because if there's one thing that Deontay Wilder has is experience, not in the sense that he has knowledge, because we all know that he punches like an idiot, but he knows how to comport himself, you know, in big fights. He's been in the game for a while. So let's just see what happens. You know, if he actually establishes a jab, I would think it would be very difficult for Dubois, being the smaller guy.
Shorter guy.
Slower.
Shorter guy, virtuoso, because I think he's actually bigger than Wilder.
Wait, what?
No, I think he said that if Wilder established his jab,
yeah, which is impossible. But go ahead.
Against Dubois,
yeah,
he would have the advantage against the smaller guy. He's shorter, right? But I think Dubois is actually bigger man than Wilder. He's,
yeah, 240. The other guy's what, 216 now?
I mean,
I don't even
wider.
know.
He's stockier. Yeah.
Yeah. He uses reach. If he uses his reach, but Wilder doesn't do that.
No,
just don't
listen,
do that.
I'm tired of talking about if Wilder does this, if Wilder does, he won't do shit, man. Like, it's been fucking 5, 6, 7 years.
I mean,
man.
what are we talking about? I mean, it's already been discovered that he doesn't have an inside game, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like, to me, it's like just wait and see. You know, I still want to see that fight between him and Joe Joyce. You know, because that looks fun.
All right. Hey, listen, there's a lot of background noise.
Yeah. All right, man.
Call back again later, man. Virtuoso. Call back again later.
Virtuoso, peace, brother.
Yeah. It's a lot of wind.
It's windy today. I mean, I could say I could speak for our weather because we're in the same city.
Yeah. We got a hurricane coming. And his name is Daniel Dubois.
Check this out. We got
cloudy
snow.
as fuck outside, man.
Hey, Bucho, you're on the East Coast too, so we have snow coming this Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I heard over here as well.
Fuck we got a storm coming, and his name is Triple D.
What the fuck?
Triple D, you ever heard of him?
Dynamite Dubois.
Daniel Dubois.
Mike P, another one of our big donors. Thank you for your contribution. A big contribution.
P, slow down on the jag. You lost me.
He says, I think Wilder has been fully undressed in the last fight.
I could have been. I mean, look.
Any competent heavyweight can beat him. That's true, but listen, and I don't want to brag. But even before Wilder got destroyed by Fury, I was saying that Dylan White had a good shot against him.
Yes, he does. He does.
And now even more so. And I know that Dubois, obviously he saw Wilder, get destroyed. And now he feels confident. Not confident. I think he's always confident. He's a young guy. He's big, undefeated. But yeah, probably he feels more like he has more of a chance of beating Wilder. Nothing wrong with that.
Bucho?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what it is, Bucho? He got beat so bad. And the reason he got beat so bad, look, I'm not taking nothing away from Fury. Fury, excellent. It's because he's fundamentally terrible. Okay? Dude, when you're getting punched, at the end of the punch, when you're backing up with your fucking head up, that should be an indicator. Let me chill. Stop. Let me. It's something should. If you survive it, right? Something in your brain between your ears. There should be a brain there that tells you, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. But he kept doing that. Kept doing the same thing, and he looked lost. So everybody's looking at it and saying, "Look, maybe I'm not as good as Fury, but if I could get this dude to back up with his chin up the way he does, and like Corruption in Boxing said, he pointed something out to me. The guy uses his front foot to lead himself going back, so he's all over the place.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. That's even Corruption mentioned that whole thing. Remember?
Right, Corruption was the one that brought it up, and I went back, and that's if you really want to know what adds, okay, the real skinny legs, But if you want to know like why he looks like he's all over the place when he gets hit, it's that he's doing everything the wrong way. You're not supposed to back up with your front. You slide with your back foot and then you use your front foot to go back. He's using his front foot to lead and then uses his back foot, so he's tripping over himself. Is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's confused, Bucho. He's confused. And he's not a natural boxer. So when you get what happens when a man gets confused and he's not a natural boxer, his true instincts start to take over. Right?
Emmanuel
So he's a
Stewart
basketball
said,
player, he's a basketball player, not a boxer by nature.
and also Emmanuel Stewart one time said that fighters above 6'5" tend to lose their coordination, whether it's a little or a lot. It's not the same as a shorter guy because your center of gravity is higher, and your
That's why
and your feet are
you know
wider.
something. You want to know something, Gonzalo? I hated fighting guys 3 inches or more shorter than me. I didn't like that shit. Unless he was like terrible. But if he was like, nice, he had a nice foundation, meaning his stance, and he knew how to get on the inside, I hated that shit, man. Because I start losing my coordination because I feel like he gets too close to me and then I over punch and his fucking body's on my midsection and then I'm losing, I lose like a little bit of balance. I love fighting guys somewhere around my height, a little taller.
Yeah, and also that too. The Wilder, he's top heavy. He's top heavy at the top and the bottom less weight, so he tends to like get off balance because of that as well.
Yep.
All right. I want to go back to. By the way, people, the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, don't be shy. Let me just check. Okay, okay. So going back to what I was saying, I don't see why Dubois could not fight Deontay Wilder if he's no longer a champion, and if he gets destroyed for a second time. Why not? Like, why is Wilder still some sort of boogeyman or something? Is he?
But he might be calling him out, Bucho, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Wilder's gonna take that fight. He's gonna rebuild, and it'd be like more career damaging to lose to a prospect that's on the come up and catch another loss. They would really, if he's got a legacy, which some people might say already he did with 9 defenses, that he could potentially go into the Hall of Fame, which I don't think so. But look, if he take another loss against Dubois, it would certainly put him behind.
You're saying that. Well, hold on. Sorry, recognize. Let me just say this. But you're saying that Deontay Wilder would want to rebuild his career, and he doesn't want to fight Dubois because he's in that rebuilding process. Whatever. Listen, if they actually wanted to rebuild Wilder's career, now is the time. You don't fight fucking Fury a third time. They're putting him on a destruction path. Right? They're putting him.
It's a lot of money, though.
Yeah, exactly. Where he will not come back from that anymore. It's very likely that he's gonna get destroyed again. I mean, come on. Did you guys see the second fight? He didn't do jack fucking shit. He will get destroyed again. So they don't think about. They don't. So what I'm saying is, if Wilder loses again, which he will, why not putting him against Dubois? Anyways, you're just catching him out, just like you're doing it against Fury. So there's no rebuilding process anymore. It's over. They're catching this guy out, man.
Let me ask you one thing. When Joe Frazier lost to George Foreman, and he lost to him twice, right? They fought 2 times.
Yeah.
And he got knocked out like 10 times total. He hit the canvas many times. He got destroyed. Was that the end for Frazier?
No, but he's no. I know what you mean. But listen, this guy is not Joe Frazier, man. Come on, and Foreman. I mean, no, man, no. And he had Ali's number, by the way. He had Muhammad Ali's number. It's a different story, man. Wilder has nothing.
Okay, and he did well against other top fighters.
Yeah. Okay, but come on, I wouldn't listen. Joe Frazier, at least he has some technique. Wilder has absolutely zero. This guy was getting outboxed by Gerald Washington, Spilka. Who else is there on the list? And he got hurt by fucking Dominic Brazil. Loses all these rounds against 40, 50-year-old, I would say 50-year-old Luis Ortiz.
Duopas was giving him problems. He swelled him up.
Molina
but in hindsight, they're still going to say he knocked out everybody except Tyson Fury. They're going to say that.
Yeah, but what if... Boys? What's up, Johnny boy? We're just discussing.
What's good? Hey,
boy.
Bucho, the BDA told you we talked?
Nope.
Oh, we talked. Okay, enough said. Anyways.
Right. Hey, what's up, Johnny? How's it going?
What's up, Gonzalo? What's up, Frankie? What's Stu? What's good, bro? I ain't heard from you in a while. I hope all is well. I know you're dealing with some bullshit, so good to hear from you again, brother. Fucking yeah. Well, as far as Frazier and Wilder goes, and that, you know, I mean, a lot of people were saying when even for Big George will tell you himself, Frazier was already slipping when he fought him the first time. That's what he said. He said, Big George is like, boy, if I had fought Frazier 2-3 years prior to that, it wouldn't have went down like that, bro. Big George will tell you that out of his own mouth. Yeah. And like Bucho said, Wilder's no fucking Joe Frazier. Listen, man. Listen, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn how much bigger Wilder is than Joe Frazier. You put them boys in a closet. I guarantee you, Joe Frazier kills them. Guarantee you. I don't care.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he ain't no Frazier. He's slipping, bro. There ain't no upside.
I think if you put them you make them hot box. I'm sure you guys heard of that. Frazier beats the shit out of him.
If you lock him up in an elevator, Frank.
He was small.
Yeah, that's it. Put them to an elevator. See what happens. When the door opens on the lobby, let's see who's standing. I think it's Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Put him in against Marvin Frazier. Few wins.
Marvin had no chin, so he might have knocked him.
Yeah.
People, what about Iron Mike Tyson coming back? Says Yellow Ford. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Is he actually coming back? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he does look in great shape for 53.
Oh, we saw one combination, man. Get out of here, man. The people are nah.
Nah, he'll get hurt. I mean,
bro, I don't like I say, I don't understand like some of y'all is not anybody on here, but in the chat, whatever. Some of y'all is sick in the head. Like, why you want to see these,
exactly?
Why do y'all want to see these 50-year-old something old men get punched in the face by a 25-year-old? Like, the hell's the matter with you guys? Like,
because that's how shitty the heavyweight division is.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just saying.
But it's not going to be a pro 12-round fight. Obviously, I think it would be like an exhibition fight.
Nah, they'll hurt Mike. I love Mike. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They'll hurt him. He'll get hurt.
Yeah, he's too old. I saw Evander Holyfield do a charity bout with Mitt Romney the one time. That shit.
Well, he's coming back too. He saw Mike Tyson posting that, and he said he's coming back.
I was hoping Holyfield just caught some muscle memory real quick and just fucking
hammer that motherfucker.
just some basic instinct muscle memory type shit and just let one fly by mistake. And just
Mike Tyson did it.
Yeah, I guess
you see Julio Cesar Chavez doing exhibitions against Arce. He looked pretty good. He's around the same age, but these are heavyweights. I mean, take a punch like that could fucking fuck you up.
Shannon Briggs is going in bare knuckle, isn't he? He's going to kill someone.
Yeah, he's a puncher. He hits pretty fucking hard.
Who is he fighting?
Butcher, you let Shannon Briggs clock you on the chin.
Well, come on, man.
No.
Yo, that guy's he's on PEDs for sure, man.
He's always been. Always.
Look at
he might actually do good because look, when he was fighting, he had a lot of first round knockouts. So if he's old, still got that power in the first few rounds. Yeah, he knock somebody.
But
he's way too big now.
People forget that his first loss was against a journeyman, Darnell Wilson. He was really a nobody. And Darnell Wilson pieced him up and knocked him out in the third round. He wasn't a big puncher. What he said was that his asthma started acting up, and I believed him. That wasn't an excuse because, like in New York, it was a well-known, it wasn't a really big secret. He was a steroid user, and he had asthma.
No, that's what a natural guy in his mid-40s looks like, though.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on.
Just the abs.
One of the nicest
you got, like,
people
the abs,
you'll ever
man.
meet in boxing, in terms of like. You can approach him and talk to him about anything, but the guy was always roided.
Yo, look at that shit. Nah. But he's gonna gas
hang
out,
out with
though.
Busta Rhymes. Remember Busta Rhymes started getting really big? I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Well, he used to hang out with Busta Rhymes. Where
Oh
you think? Where you think
shit.
Busta? Where you think Busta was getting that shit from?
Yo, yeah, I remember when he was chasing Klitschko all over the place. He was showing up in his weigh-ins and shit.
That
Like,
shit was funny.
I remember when he showed up to. He was in Germany for one of Klitschko's fight, and then they knew. I guess they knew he was gonna show up, so they didn't let him into the building. So as soon as he approached the entrance, you see these like three big bouncers or what are the security guys come out, and they're big. But fucking, this guy's bigger than them a little, and he's a boxer, right? So they kind of like all smiling. No, not today, not today, not today, Shannon. But they're like, you can see they're kind of like, shit. You know what I mean? We don't want to get into a fight with this guy.
We don't want to have to like, fight this dude.
No,
I
he's
know a
big-
football player in Miami. I'm not saying the football player was from Miami. He could have been, but he was in Miami at the same time as Shannon Briggs, and he beat the shit out of Shannon Briggs in the alleyway.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man, he beat the fuck out of him. This was in South Beach.
Damn.
Yep.
A
I forgot
street
the
fight's a
football player. I don't
different
know.
thing.
Maybe the guys in the chat know. There's a football player who beat his ass up.
All right, guys, let us know. All right, we got a phone call. 813. You're on the air. 813.
Hey, what up, Bucho? What up, Recognize? What up, Johnny Boy? And
Red
what up,
glove,
Steve?
militant.
Oh,
Red glove.
And Gonzalo. I'm trying not to forget nobody.
I think that's pretty much it.
Got Johnny Boy.
Y'all talking
Johnny
about-
Boy.
Oh, Johnny Boy.
Huh?
Johnny Boy.
Oh yeah, I said Johnny Boy.
Okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
But yeah, y'all talking about Mike Tyson has come back. My understanding is that he's coming back for charity exhibition. Which
Thank God.
I think is cool. Definitely not 12-round heavyweight competition. His best days. I mean, I think this should go without saying. His best days are behind him. You know, and like
Look,
one thing I want to say is
Danny Williams, isn't it? They're trying to get him to fight Danny Williams, aren't they?
Well, he wants to fight. I don't know if yeah.
I saw a tweet by Rick Glasser saying that if Mike Tyson were to do a pay-per-view right now, like he basically dwarf all these other current boxers right now. And I think that's I think
That's a sad statement.
You know,
That's true.
yeah, he's an icon. You know, like there's.
No, it's true.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson,
he's iconic.
Yeah. He's a celebrity. Even if like those, when they fought, they sold a lot. Imagine Mike Tyson.
You know, I don't want to say this, but if Mike Tyson was to fight, let's say Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, I mean, he'll get washed up. If he fought him on pay-per-view, they would do a lot of
because he's past his prime.
They would kill him, man.
And to me,
I love
that's
Mike. I hope he don't
common
ever do it.
I think he has a shot in like 2 rounds, and then after that,
2
it's
rounds,
over.
maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
and then that's it.
Then that's it, bro. They're gonna murder him, man.
I don't want to see that, man.
Nah,
I love
that's
Mike
not
too
happening.
much.
That's not happening. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Red
I
Glove.
love Mike
Let
too
him
much.
fight Mitt Romney. let him get a shot at Mitt Romney. but yeah, like I think some fans, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm nostalgic for Mike Tyson. But I think some fans just need to be realistic. I mean, the guy's 53 years old. I don't want to see what happened to B-Hop happen to Mike Tyson. Get knocked out of the ring by some guy Joe Smith was good, but I'm just saying he has no business getting knocked out of the ring by these guys. Like that's not the image that I think this generation has.
I still remember Mike Tyson being stunned by that Irish guy. Yeah, Kevin McBride. That was like, man, I've never like.
Remember when Mike Tyson's was it his last fight, guys, that he hit the floor and he just quit? He just like
Yeah,
stood there?
McBride. Yeah, he was in his knees or something, or sitting. His ass was on the canvas, and it just looked. Oh man, it looked sad.
That's when I said. You know what I said? And even before that, man. Even when he fought Lennox Lewis slightly, but right there, that moment, that was Tyson saying to his fans, on brothers.
Yeah, yeah. He even said it in the post-fight interview. Yeah.
Hey, Red. You know what? You know what? The difference between Tyson and B-Hop is I enjoyed watching Bernard get the shit kicked out of him. I won't enjoy watching Mike Tyson get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a nice Tyson. He only wants to eat your children. And fuck you till you love him.
Praise him to Allah.
He's a nice guy though. That'd be crazy if he did a full circle. You know how he was the youngest heavyweight champion. If he became the oldest at 53.
If I could place Bernard Hopkins in hell, that would be him. It would just be a cycle of him for eternity getting knocked out of the ring. I've fallen on his neck. Okay, Mike, it's just a cycle.
You know
cycle.
What's funny? You know what's funny is that Tommy Temper actually did a video called "The White Boy Curse," showing all these boxers who made that comment, like what Devin Haney made, and they went on to lose to a Caucasian. So yeah, I hear you. Like it, I'm a sucker for poetic justice. I don't have the same hard feelings toward B-Hop as you, Johnny, but I understand. And I have to admit, I think it's kind of funny, given the fact that he said he would never let a white boy beat him, but then he got, he lost to Kozagi, he got knocked out of the ring by Joe Smith, and he also lost to Kovalev before that. So
my nigga Joe Smith coming out of Strong Island. That's my boy.
Yo, I don't care who was knocking him on his head. I just glad somebody got the job done. That's all. I don't care who did it.
He might have orchestrated that because he was pretty clever, and I think B-Hop just realized that he was gonna get his ass kicked, and he kind of just made it seem like he got knocked out of the ring.
Push me.
Yeah, he had done that before too in another fight. Who was that against?
Yeah, Robert Allen. Robert Allen, I believe his name was.
Listen, Hopkins was dirty, so I don't care.
Robert Allen was giving him a little bit of a problem. I want people to peep that. He looked like he threw himself out that fucking ring. I'm just listening.
I think we can all agree we don't want to see that happen to Mike Tyson, though.
I know people get mad when I say this.
I think
I always knew Bernard Hopkins was a con man. Always.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? He quit smoking the weed, or because he smokes a lot of weed too, right? That can't help him.
That helps him. No, I'm gonna tell you one thing it does.
Hopkins
it helps relax his muscles. It helps Mike relax.
He ain't the only one fucking smoking a lot of weed at the moment. I mean, this coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'm like the fucking English Cheech and Chong here, man. Swear to God.
Stu, are you good? I ain't heard from you in a while.
Hey Stu, Johnny boy asked you a question.
I think he's smoking weed right now.
He's smoking weed.
Red Glove.
Don't take it. That's it.
Anything else, Red Glove?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me, Bucho. Peace to everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. And y'all be safe. Peace.
All right. Thanks for calling in. And check
I
out
was just
the Red
responding
Glove
to Johnny
channel.
with a fucking moot on. Look, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have a break from YouTube. You'll learn that eventually, Johnny, to regroup, recharge the batteries, get a bit of sanity back in your life, so you can come back to these heathens fresh. And you just need your time to enjoy life and enjoy the countryside, the scenery around you, instead of just mixing with these savages day in and day out. And that's what I do. You'll find that I'll disappear for a few weeks here and there, and then I'll come back.
The country life, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been sneaking this chicken as well. So I've been having her over quite. I've been fucking. My daughter don't know she's there this year because I've done all this games room up in my house, and it's like outside the house. It's like one of them holiday homes. I turned it into a games room. It's all kitted out. It's got everything I need, and I'll sneak her in there. So I'll get to duck down when I'm driving by, so my daughter don't see it because she's fucking brainwashed by the media. She thinks every time I go out, I'm going to bring back the coronavirus. So
I love it. I love it.
Does
Yeah,
she
she's
think the
fucking-
Earth flat, Stu?
Oh, I tell you what, like I said, mate, it's fucking as soon as this lockdown over, mate, you can fucking go back home.
Yeah. Are you good though, Stu? I ain't talked to you in a while. You didn't hear me before, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm good, Johnny, man. I'm good. Like I said, I like to have a little break from this place now and again, but I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, I know you were dealing with some shit. Well, as long as you're all good, brother. Just wanted
Yeah,
to say
thank you, brother. How you been? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Just
good,
chilling.
man. Still fucking still warring with them Wilder fangirls, I see.
Yeah, a little bit. I've toned it down a little bit.
It's like the Iraq-Iran war. You and the Wilder fans are like you and the Wilder fanboys. It's like the Iraq-Iran war, isn't it? It's for 6 years and it's still fucking not looking like it's going to stop.
It's like the fucking Yugoslavian rebellion.
Hey, Bucho, you checked out the video I sent you?
Which one? Oh yeah. I'm working on it.
I'll give you the. I'll just give you a hint. The evidence.
Yeah. Should we talk about it now?
It's up to you, bro. It's your platform.
But there wasn't any evidence. I don't know what he was talking about. No, I'm
That's
serious.
what I was trying to tell you.
Why? What happened?
Go ahead, Bucho.
You take it. You explain it.
All right. So I came across a video. Look, man. Sometimes I like to entertain myself by smoking some weed and listening to some crazy shit. So, barbershop conversation came to mind. Weed and laughs. So I said, all right, let me see what barbershop had to say because he had an interesting title. Okay, let me click on this shit. So apparently,
So what do you do when you're?
Sorry.
There was this dude that I think he's Wilder's like best friend or some shit like that. He works in his camp. Apparently, he's got evidence. 2 types of evidence. Okay, these are 2.
Yeah.
That if it's true, will kill him. Will kill Fury. One of them is that a doctor confirmed, and I don't know how they could do this, but confirmed that the kind of injuries Wilder suffered had to be from a blunt object, something other than your fist. All right, that's one. That's one piece of evidence that this doctor said when he diagnosed Wilder. The other one is video evidence of this object. There's video evidence. Now, I don't know if that exists. I don't know how true this is. But he said that it will come out at the appropriate time, whatever that means.
Never, basically.
And
it means never.
Right. I think this guy was either bullshitting or.
Yeah, let's just play a little bit of the clip. See if we pick up something.
You know what I'm saying? And, I know D not going to say a lot. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's fine. I actually don't want him to say nothing. So I went back and I looked at all the, videos, all the stories and the lies and the manipulative things that, people saying, trying to come up with different theories and things of that nature, man. But the truth of the fact of the matter is, and people want to hear him say it, but he don't have to say it. I'm gonna say it. Man, I got physical proof. I got physical proof that this man cheated.
Wow. How can he has physical proof?
I got physical proof. Meaning by me having some physical proof, and it's doctor approved.
Oh, doctor approved. All right.
Oh, yeah. And it's doctor approved. So, I just, I'm hearing all these videos and trying to get.
But he doesn't get to the point. Like it's
different fighters to say, I'm saying, and like I say, I know D. These motherfuckers pretend to know him. They don't know D. My thing is this. I know he wasn't 100%. You probably got like a 40% Deontay Wilder that night.
Well, look at all the excuses. Now he's talking about Wilder being at 40%, and on top of that,
Forget about the 40%. I'm curious about your evidence. That's what I would tell them.
yeah.
If I
See
was
how they switch topics.
interviewer,
This is what they do. This is what they do. They throw accusations out there, and then they don't expand upon them. They don't explain exactly how Tyson Fury cheated. They just throw shit out there, like, oh, he cheated. I have proof, and then they move on to something else, and they think we're gonna forget the accusations. Go ahead, Johnny Boy.
Butch, I
mean,
for one
yeah,
second. I got a question.
One at a time.
I was just going to say, well, if Wilder was at 40% in that rematch, then what percentage was Tyson Fury at in the first fight, buddy?
Exactly, Johnny.
Yeah,
I
good point, man. Yeah,
15.
I think what you've just been talking about the last 5 minutes. I think it's the exact reason why you haven't seen my ass. And I just needed a breather from it. I mean, very, very draining. I mean, look, I usually say I look like Kirk Douglas. I mean, I looked in the mirror yesterday and I look like fucking Yoga from Star Wars, man. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look, it just fucking drained every bit of life I had out of me.
Stupid boxing fans are.
I need this break. Yeah, I mean, look, it's tiring, isn't it? I mean, how often are these excuses going to come out? How more are we going to talk about on our shows? I mean, just done it to death. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Don't like really talking about it anymore.
I like exposing these people. And by the way, listen to this, guys, because Recognize sent me that link. Then I started listening to Barbershop like an idiot. But then I heard this part. Listen.
Predominantly white teams, and here in Texas, and he plays select football. You know,
this is a caller that called into the Barbershop's show.
We big on football here in Texas, and
yeah.
And in DeSoto, it's predominantly African American, you know, and sometimes we travel, man, and we go play predominantly white teams, and it's not fair. And we run the score up. We do what we got to do. And man, it's not fair, but it is what it is. You have the set age. All the kids are 9 years old, and we just dominate, man. When it comes to anything that we do, we dominate, man. It is what it is.
What do you guys think about that shit?
Well,
that's the
stupidest. And in the next statement, I'll be saying, we're getting held down by the white man. You know,
they're better.
You know what is it? You'd either everything you do is perfect, or you can't have both ways. You can't be a victim and then
that's the thing. That's stupid.
Be the kings as well. So if you know what I mean, I don't get these fucking people.
That's the
I'm talking about 9-year-olds. That's about the mentality of the guy.
What they don't realize is that has nothing to do with your racial DNA. That has to do with what you're good at. If you get, for instance, you know, if you get a certain group of people that love to play a certain sport, and you're like an outsider, and let's say you just came into that sport. You know, of course, you're at a disadvantage. You know, that's what it is. Now, you got to put it into context. Are you going against professional players that are like you, that are they're at your level, or they're beneath you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're going to run up the score. Of course, you're going to dog out, you know, let's say a boxing fight. You get a guy there that's a pro, right? And you fighting a guy who could fight, but he's not a pro. More than likely, you're going to blow this guy out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to blow him out. You got to put everything in proper context.
Being the best in some state in America means fucking absolutely zero to me. I mean, look, it's, you know, American football's it's like all American sports, basically designed for black people. They've got the attributes for them sort of sports. It's like, I don't see many of them skiing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just whether they've got the attributes, and American sports are built around that. That's why they're very, I mean, let's be real, they're impressive when you see them shooting hoops. There's no doubt about that. American football to me is garbage. So if you want real tough guys, go and watch rugby. No fucking breaks, no timeouts, no pads. Get out.
You're gonna how all these Americans are gonna jump on you, man.
I played rugby. I played rugby probably 3 or 4 times, and I broke my nose. I broke my collarbone. I fucking had cuts all over me. That's just a couple of games. Can you imagine playing every week? Not about that life.
I broke a collarbone. I cracked a collarbone playing football. Well, listen, man. the kid probably played football till the 9th grade, talking about he's racially oppressed. First of all, he didn't play no college ball. He didn't play no football. And if you ran the score up and won the game, what are you whining about? What are you whining about? And as far as American sports, this isn't a racial thing. It's just a fact. Like they don't play hockey. Hockey's one of the fucking toughest sports there is.
Yeah, it has to do with what's. Yeah, there's a lot of factors involved.
The biggest sport in the world is soccer, and for me, the best players are definitely white guys. Sorry, that's just how it is.
Yeah, because there's proof that
baseball's a fucking Spanish thing, bro. Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans,
And you know something, Johnny? That's a good thing that you brought up, because look, take baseball for instance. Baseball has been predominantly dominated by white guys, and
in the past.
of recent time, Hispanics, right? But I would always tell anybody that my opinion, with my own eyes, greatest baseball player I ever saw was Barry Bonds. That had nothing to do with his race. It's the guy's IQ for baseball was second to nobody. That's the reason why. He was an amazing brain. Not only power. I mean, anybody can have power, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have a brain. Now, there's a guy who's approaching his status. And what does he happen to be? A white guy. Mike Trout. This is a kid whose brain is made for baseball. Not only that, he's got the great gifts of, of height. He's about 6'2", 230, and he's a speeding bullet. At 230, he can outrun guys that are like 180, 190. He can outrun them. He's a white boy. And here's another thing. Real quick.
Different people are good at different things. That's it.
Exactly. And Johnny Boy, here's another thing. The guy could jump 12 feet up in the air. 12 feet. He could dunk with no problem. And this is not impossible. Look, you guys can believe me or not, but I knew how to dunk when I was about under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
I knew I just had this natural ability to jump. That I just know how to jump high. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I'm a great basketball player. It's just that I got certain things that I can do.
Yeah.
But these people don't take that into consideration.
They don't
My
take
favorite baseball player is Ricky Henderson.
I was going to say that they don't take
fast.
They don't take into consideration like the supply of people, like the supply in terms of, for example, back in the days in the 20s, whatever, you had a lot of Italians, some Irish Jews. They used to supply a lot of boxers in a sense, but they also had like the coaches and the environment, the gyms, and so that's why they had a lot of champions. Later on, I guess they stopped. They stopped boxing in a way. Like it became more of an African American sport.
Okay, here's a good example, right? They like to say that back in the days the competition level was weak. I'll argue against that, right? When Babe Ruth was averaging 50 home runs a season, I want you to hear that, 50. You know what the league's average was at that time? 20. 20 home runs. So not only was he better than the rest of the competition, he was way better. Okay? Today, you'll see if you do the average versus if you do like a superstar player, what he averages versus what the league does, it's not that far.
Do you know what winds me up, Recognize? These fucking clowns in the LDBC, you see it now and again. Oh, yeah, we dominate tennis because of the Williams sister. I mean, have these fucking people not heard of Roger Federer and fucking Djokovic? What they do to the Williams sister?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going
all
with.
of a sudden, women's sport's important when they're on top.
Get
out of here, man.
Oh, sorry, Scott.
I would say African Americans, they are fast. They're really fast.
Jamaicans are even quicker, mate. Jamaicans.
Well, they're black. They're black.
Jamaicans are even quicker, mate. Let's be real. Jamaicans don't have the science and all these big gymnasiums and fitness instructors and dietitians that all the Americans are. The Americans are the most looked after sportsmen in the world. They've got everything on the fucking plate. Jamaica's that's from pure diet and environment where they're just through their diet. That's how they fucking become quick.
A lot of them train in the U.S. A lot of them train in the U.S. though. A lot of these.
Yeah, they do,
track
but
and
they're already
field-
quick. They don't go to the US. They're not just.
No,
they
no,
don't
I
just
know
get
what
some
you mean.
fucking donkey
Physically.
from Jamaica and send him to the US.
Yeah.
He's obviously got to be quick in the first place.
Of course. You
to
can't
go
just
to the
send.
US,
I mean, yeah.
You know what's funny?
But-
You know what's funny? You know what's funny with me when I was a kid, a teenager, whatever. I had great balance. Because I was doing karate and all that shit and boxing a little bit and football. I had great hand-eye coordination. I had great fucking balance. I could stand on one leg for fucking 3 minutes without moving. You know what I'm saying? But I could not ride a fucking the roller skates, bro, because I wanted to play hockey. I could not do the fucking ice skates or the rollers. I could not do it, bro. I don't know why. It's just funny. Like I say, some people are good at certain things and some aren't. It is what it is. Everybody's got their mix of shit, you know. I mean,
exactly. It's just that there's certain things like, look, and there's certain bias. I remember playing sports, trying out for a football team, for the high school football team, and the coach, the black guy. I love him to this day. He's one of the nicest people you ever meet. But I remember his first impression of me was he said, "Yo, where are you from? Because you got an accent." This is me coming from Puerto Rico. So remember, I kind of had I was like, "Oh, I'm from Puerto Rico." He went just like this. He said, "And you that fast?" And I'm like, I didn't think nothing of it. I just, okay, I don't know. I mean, you never met a Puerto Rican that was fast? They used to running from cops and shit. I don't know.
Did you complain to the Puerto Rican Association for racial discrimination or something?
But he was like kind of like, you know what it was? He's so used to seeing, either white guys that are incredibly gifted athletically, or black guys, the majority black guys that are, American guys, just American kids in general. That the majority of them are black or white. White guys make great quarterbacks. It's true, they do. I mean, just go look at the history. You don't need me to tell you that.
Yeah,
they just do make the best quarterback.
Yeah, because quarterback is not a position of being fast, explosive, and strong. It's a position of using your mind and accuracy and precision, isn't it? Like I said, it's a thinking man's position. That's why, and like I said, you've got to be very brave to be a quarterback as well. Because if your defense is not on its game, you could be in for a fucking torrid time. So, it's a very tough position, quarterback, and that's why Tom Brady's the greatest ever NFL player in the history of the sport for me. I'm not no expert, so you guys could probably argue with me.
No, listen, Brady is gonna go. I would argue that they are quarterbacks that were better. I'm talking about talent wise.
Yeah, but like I said, when I go through the quarterbacks, when I go through like the great ones like John Elway, like Montana, and all these people,
all right, guys, let's not make it into the NFL show here. Virtuoso.
No, I know it's not. We've got 2 minutes. I'm just saying.
No, that's a good point, though. I mean, it takes different qualities to become a quarterback.
This is part of what we're talking about, Butcher. Hang on a minute. This is part of what we're talking about when we're thinking about. You're talking about. He was talking about blacks dominating a sport, but we're talking about. So if you don't want us to back our corner, do you just want them to fucking get their say out all the time or something? We're backing our corner here. The fact is, the quarterback is a thinking man's game, and that's probably why the white man does it better. But when it comes to the running backs, how many white running backs? Yeah, you don't get many white running backs, do you?
Jesus Christ.
You
guys
remember Bo Jackson?
Wait, hold on. I wanted to say something. This is the thing. We had too many people.
Yeah, okay.
Virtuoso, thank you for your contribution. He says, Stu, are Leo Messi and Ronaldo considered Anglo?
No.
Well, Anglo means English, you dipshit. What? So have you got to be Anglo to be white?
No, because you meant white, but
listen,
they're white.
If I remember right, they're from Portugal, right? And Lionel Messi is from Italian descent. And if I remember right, that's Europe. I'm from Europe. I'm closer to them than you'll ever be.
Yeah, he said white. Yeah, exactly. Stu said white. He didn't say white.
Get into your head. Some white guys do have suntan, especially Hispanic white guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, guys,
Lionel Messi is whiter than me. Lionel Messi is whiter than me. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of them Portuguese smooth-looking motherfuckers that sits on sunbeds all year round and sits in the sun.
Yeah, 610. You're on the air. 610.
He's built like a machine. Bro.
Hold on, 610. 610.
Yo, what's up, my dogs? How we doing?
Jackson.
Action Jackson. Go ahead.
Action
Yeah,
Jackson. What's poppin'?
it's my birthday. I want to say what's up to all my fans out there, Mr. The Zone.
Oh, he got bad.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
shit, what's good? We talking about Wilder right now, or what's
Dubois, no, Dubois and whatever. He wants to fight Wilder. Some people are saying that he doesn't deserve that fight yet. What do you think?
I think Wilder gets retired in that fight. I think it's 50-50 because like we see what happens when Wilder goes up against any good boxer, anybody that's fundamentally sound and like Stu said it will bring the fight to you. Will beat Wilder. Like he's been exposed. Like and if you can take a couple of his shots early, like Fury did have to take. I think it was like one or two big right hands, and he just like, dude, he was like the Terminator and just went right through that, used good head movement, double jab, fucking beat his ass on the inside. So any fight for Wilder is dangerous right now unless it's a pillow puncher.
All right. I agree with you, actually. I think he would end Wilder's career, but some people here on the panel disagree. Yep. Go ahead.
If you look at the history of boxing, some of the greatest punchers in their toughest match, I'm going to give you one example. Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler, where he had a tough physical fight, were guys who brought it to him, okay, that made him back up. Mugabe, but Mugabe broke down. He knocked him out. Mugabe did have success when he was fighting coming forward. Now, of course, he got the worst of it, and we know the result. But Marvin Hagler was stressed in that fight. Okay, he was stressed out. In the beginning of Tommy Hearns in that fight, the first fight, he brought it to him. I know that there was this excuse that he did that because of his legs, and there was some massage done, and he didn't feel like he had his legs under him.
The massage, yeah.
Right, he tried to end the fight as quick as possible. Maybe that's true, but
bullshit. I think
I also believe that he understood, because he's a boxing mind, what you do to a puncher is you stress him out. You bring it to him. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now it doesn't always work out, right? It doesn't always work out, but you could see that he did have success. Tommy Hearns and Mugabe. It ended with them losing, but they did have some success. Look, Wilder. What happened with Wilder was he was totally exposed because of lack of fundamentals. If he was to pick up on just a few things, and I'm not advocating for Wilder, I don't really care for him or his fans, but if he was to pick up on a few things, Wilder can reinvent himself. The problem with that is that I don't think he has the mindset to do that. That's the problem that I see for him. He don't have the mental capacity.
Recognize. I think Wilder, I think we're like not giving him enough credit because like from all the boxers that I've heard that have sparred with him, like David Hay, they all say he can box. And if you watch that first round, he can. And you watch the first Stavern fight. I mean, Stavern was just like,
they're being nice.
He was a shit fighter.
Yeah, but listen,
they're being nice.
If you listen, go listen to the. Is that Jackson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jackson, if you go and listen to the English commentary on Wilder Fury 2, David Hay was doing the commentary that night. After one round, he lost confidence in Wilder. So that, what is this fucking guy talking about?
No, but
go and listen to it. He said Wilder was done after one round. This is not a guy that's confident in Wilder being able to get his way back in this fight with his boxing skills, because that's how you keep in a fight when you're under a lot of pressure. Your basic fundamental boxing skills will get you so far. It will keep you in a fight when you're under pressure. But when you haven't got that, when you start losing shape and your feet start you start losing your balance, your feet are in the wrong place and you sit square on, it becomes a mess. And that's what happened with Fury fight. I mean, just a guy that's just far too skilled for another.
One thing Wilder actually does really good for a boxer Like, you know how, I don't know, like, we've all probably sparred, had a couple amateur fights. When you're calm, when somebody's throwing punches at you and, like, you're just, you know what's going on. You're not worried. You're not thinking you're going to get knocked out. Like, say you're buzzed a little bit and you can just sit in the pocket and still cover up and throw some shots. I think Wilder can do that pretty, like, that was always something Floyd was good at. Where you're always calm even when you're under fire. Like when Mosley hit him, I think Wilder actually can do that. Like, he can stay calm when, like, I think it was the first Ortiz fight, like when he was getting bombed out, and he was, so that's a really good quality for a boxer to have, to be able to, like, not panic. And Wilder has that, and he has okay boxing skills, so he might be able to have a little second run. Like, he might be able to beat a couple top guys, but he doesn't have much left.
I agree with Recognize. He doesn't have to do a whole lot more. Just think about Klitschko, how he was able to dominate by doing like three things: throwing a good jab and a good cross, and being able to tie up your opponent. When you're blessed with being above 6'5", 6 or 6'7", that's an advantage. You got to capitalize that on your dimensions. If you could be able to throw a good jab and a good cross, and he could tie his opponent up, he'd be successful.
Look,
less is more.
Wilder needs to look. If Wilder can stay in shape, I keep preaching it, and just keep behind the jab and take his time, because I think if Wilder, when he starts trying to press a fight and starts getting wild, he just looks horrible, and that was his problem against Fury. He got desperate and he got wild, and nothing was landing. It was just embarrassing to watch. So I think if he can stay in shape, keep behind the jab, keep his fucking guard up as well, be a start. And I think he's you know. I think he's got a good enough right hand, and the jab's not too bad. The jab's not terrible. I mean, if he can keep to them two shots and don't try to overcomplicate things, I think he could still be a problem for people. But it's just
that's right. Not overcomplicate.
That's right. I think the more simple he keeps it, and I've seen it before. He has. I mean, the Stavern fight in the first one. All right, he didn't get the KO, but the way he fought that night, if he could have built on that and improved his skills and his time a little bit better, I think that would have been the way forward. But he just didn't move forward. He started relying on his power. Relying on his power, the more and more he was fighting, and before you know it, all the boxing went out the window. It was
and
just
time ran out.
Land the right hand.
Yeah. Quickly,
for a lanky guy like him, you also present more holes. So like, if you overcomplicate, like you're mentioning, Stu, then you leave yourself open to more counter shots. So sometimes, less is more, because you present more of and more openings for the other guy to hit you back.
Look,
you
you got to keep it real as well, Gonzalo. Wilder is not the sharpest tool in the fucking box. Too much information in that guy, and he's gonna do nothing. And that's his problem with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is all jitterish and all his feints and he's jitterish. He's moving his head. He gets confused. He don't know what he's doing, so he's half throwing shots and he's leaving himself wide open. And he just, in the end, he does nothing. And that was his problem. Just froze, didn't he? Because he just didn't know what to do. And that's what I mean. If he overthinks, he becomes a mess. I think it's best to try and keep it simple. Bit like a Frank Bruno sort of style of boxing. Just keep behind the jab, keep it straight with the punches, land a left here and there. You know what I mean? Left hook here and there. I mean, just that's what you got to do. The more you try to get, I mean, you got people saying Floyd Mayweather should train Wilder. Can you imagine Wilder trying to fight? Like
no. What is he going? That's the stupidest thing I've heard, man. Even George Foreman. I don't know what George Foreman would bring to the table. To be honest,
George Foreman should train Wilder. I agree with that, because George Foreman came. Listen, he came on late in the scene. Like, Foreman didn't start boxing that early. He's a power puncher, and Foreman is always about the jab. He's always like, oh, a great fighter will use the jab. A good fighter won't ever use the jab. If he puts that in his head, like jab first. I mean, Wilder can do some things. I mean, he's got some tools. He's just like Stu said, he's a dum-dum.
I disagree. I don't think he can. Nobody can teach him anything. And Joe Frazier, I mean, it's not like he. What is he gonna teach him? Like, throw a jab? I mean, anybody can teach him how to throw a jab. But nobody has ever fucking.
Joe Frazier's dead.
He meant George
sorry,
Foreman.
George Foreman. Joe Frazier.
Is that Unrivaled in the house? Is that Unrivaled?
Joe Frazier's gonna be like a Force Ghost. What do you call it in Star
Get
Wars?
Mike
Like,
Tyson to train him.
all right, hold on. Okay,
seance.
Jackson, we're gonna run out of time here for the calls, and we have
right,
Unrivaled in here. Jackson, thank you for the phone call. Call back again if you can. Okay, later.
All right, guys. Have a good
All right,
one.
take care. All right, we got two other phone calls, but hold on.
Go ahead.
Jeez. Okay, we have two phone calls. So guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restart the phone lines and call back in like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. All right. So I'm gonna hang up, but call back again. Go ahead, whoever wants to speak.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Shut up. All right.
Go ahead and rival. What's up?
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about
whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, Dubois against Wilder. If that fight, if he did, some people are saying that he would not deserve that fight. He doesn't deserve it. Yeah.
I guess something we can talk about. You see that Momo Tank Davis ran his fucking car into the building?
Oh, right.
What the
I'm not
fuck?
surprised. I'm not surprised.
I couldn't give less of a shit about
man.
Tank, man.
All these fucking this whole PBC pack of mutants it's never ending. They're little kids, bro. They're little kids with toys.
I told you, Johnny boy, they need the PBC nanny program. Somebody
they're 30-year-old grown men acting like teenagers, bro. And you got Tank, Spence, the Charlo sisters, and Broner, the 5 ass clowns in Spence, the 6 ass clowns of the PBC. It's every day you look on the news. There's always some shit. Broner got his ass kicked. Tank kicked somebody's ass. This fucker flipped a car over. This happened. This guy went to jail. Like, these guys are jokes, man. All of them, bro. It's terrible.
Fucking joke.
I'm gonna take it easy on the Charlos for a while.
Why?
I think the Jermel guy he's doing all right for himself. You know, he avenged his loss, and yeah, I would like to see him, the older guy, face Triple G.
Do you know one
But
thing
they're
about them
doing all right.
Charlos? Yeah, do you know one thing about them Charlos, right? You say what you like about the Charlos, but they've got a killer instinct in them. And that's a great thing to have when you're a fighter. Them guys go for the kill. And it's none of this fucking back foot fight and flipping out the jab, trying to look slick. They go in there to take heads off. And I like that. So I like the way Charlos fight. For me, I just think they've been held back a little bit too long. I think they should have been moved on a bit quicker. Because, I think when you get Stow, what happens with the Harrison happens. You get Stow, you get stuck in a gear, and then you come up against a crafty operator like Harrison, and he nicks a win.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to keep these fighters on top, hungry. In the second fight, Charlo come back as a hungry lion, a wounded animal sort of thing, and he got the job done. So that's how I see it. I mean, Charlo's just need to move on.
Pompey stop hurt?
Hold on, Pompey 85. Thank you for your contribution. Pompey 85 says, "Is Wilder the worst heavyweight champion of all?" Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you had guys like Charles Martin.
Bermain Stavern is an example who he beat for the fucking title. You've got Charles Martin. I mean, no, he's not the worst.
No,
John Reese.
Even John Reese. I think. I mean, the 90s, you get a bunch of what were their names? Tony. No, what's Tony talking?
Bone Crusher Smith.
Yeah. Some of them won titles. Anyways,
Tony Tubbs.
Tony Tubbs. Yeah. 619. You're on the air.
There's quite a few champions out there who weren't exactly amazing. So
hello.
Yeah. Go ahead, 619.
Yeah.
Yeah. Herbie.
It's Jose.
Jose.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I just called in. I some old fights, but I wanted to comment on about Daniel Dubois. I was actually looking forward to the Joy Joyce fight, and I picked Joy Joyce to beat Daniel Dubois. I mean, I don't understand why people like to jump on behind fighters like Daniel Dubois. I think Joy Joyce would have been his first test as far as proving himself.
I kind of like studied both opponents like before they actually fought, and I kind of give the edge to Joyce. I think he has a better record, and I think he's beat better opponents. I think Daniel Dubois, he's good, I think they just put him up against mostly.
So you think?
I just want somebody to explain to me.
You're breaking up, man. Jose, you're breaking up. Go ahead.
Yeah, just explain it to you.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Hey, Jose, man.
Joy. Yeah, okay.
You're breaking up, man. Call back again later, man. Maybe it's I don't know, some sort of.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. All right, got another phone call.
What are you talking about? Were you talking about who's the worst heavyweight champion or something? I couldn't catch.
Well, somebody in the Pompey 85 asked. Well, I don't know. I think he made a statement. Oh no, it's a question. Is Wilder the worst heavyweight champion of all?
Nah, come on, man. I mean, calm down a little bit.
Nah, like we said, there
He's
was Charles
bad.
Martin.
He ain't that fucking bad. I mean, have you seen some of the champions we had? Have you ever seen Primo Canero fight? I mean,
well, how far are you going back? I mean, come on, you're going. All right, 346. You're on the air. 346.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Man, yeah, we talking about Wilder. Yeah, he is the worst heavyweight champion because his resume speaks for itself. You fight people that's 6-16, 2-20, and 2. I might be exempt, but just check his resume. I mean, they even got videos for you if you just a casual boxer. I mean, if you look at his first 20, 30 fights, these people got 1,000 losses. I mean, you could go up in there and knock these people out. I mean, let's just be realistic. Who is he fought beside? I mean, you give him David Ortiz, that's about going on 60. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury, you seen what happened with Tyson Fury out the ring a couple years in the first fight. There's 1,000 excuses for that fight. Then we get to the second fight, he washes them like a cloth, and then we got 1,000 more excuses. So how can you really not say that this man is not close to even being the worst heavyweight champion of the world? I mean, who is?
I can give you one
Literally
reason.
nobody.
He beat another person to get that belt. The person he beat for
I'll
that
give you
belt
that.
was
And
Bermain
who did he
Stavern.
beat to get that belt? Who did he beat?
He beat Bermain Stavern.
Yeah, okay, but come
So
on, man.
Bermain
You think
Stavern was
30
a
years from
champion.
now,
So how
people
bad
gonna
must
know
he
about
have been if
Stavern?
Wilder's this terrible guy? That's another champion.
But I believe that anybody in the top 5 would watch. Anybody in the top maybe 10 would watch Stavern, man. I mean, he just ain't.
Oh yeah, I get that.
mean,
I
he's
get
just
that.
not
So
that.
Stavern's obviously worse than Wilder, right? There's your answer.
Hey, it ain't too far. It ain't too far. The point is that I want to see him get up in there. You know, I'm not gonna tell him this. I want to see if this trainer, whatever he think is gonna help him, man, because he needs footwork. You know what I mean? He needs to throw that jab more. You know what I mean? His IQ to me is just not a boxing you. I could throw you in the ring with a bunch of 7th graders and you'll look spectacular. But I throw you in there with somebody who can actually move and touch and counterpunch and then we'll see where you at. But I mean, you're beating up tomato cans, man. You know, I used to like Wilder, but after the Tyson Fury fight, man, I lost all respect for him. The LDBC, they're crazy. They're like the Black Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? That's all they is. Fred and all them.
Yeah,
but
they're delusional.
Just off that. And I just wanted to say something real quick about the Charlos. I'm from Houston, Texas, man. But the Charlos need to start fighting. The Charlos need to start fighting some top level names too, man. You know, I don't like Jamel's character, man. I really wish he would humble himself. But Tony Harrison gave him all the hell he dang, man. But he got that power though. I would love to see Terrence Crawford really move up with that little fight they talking about, which probably ain't gonna happen. And just go up in there. If he came up there in 154 and just beat Charlo, and that's another fight for another day. But all these fights, they need to start making top level fights, man. You know, everybody know PBC. They you know, they act like they're scared of Terrence Crawford, man. We want to see Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. We want to see Teofimo and Loma. We want to see Javante and another person that everybody says is a killer, but he ain't fought nobody. But Pedraza is probably his best one. You fighting Gamboa, and Gamboa, an old Gamboa that tore his up. I mean, come on, man. I mean, these people need Benavidez, Caleb Plant. I mean, we need to start seeing the fights. Everybody, people tired of this low opposition fighting. I mean, you know what I mean. Boxing got to get better. They got to do better. That was my call, though, man.
All right, man.
Hey,
Thanks for
man,
calling in, man.
All right, man. Y'all be good, man.
All right, take care. Yeah, good points.
That's
man.
for sure. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I mean, he was saying that Wilder, I mean, he needs to improve, but the thing is, he's 34, going 35 this year. I think it's over for this guy. Whatever extra he can get out of his career, I mean, good for that guy. Good for him. I mean, if he gets... Listen, I think after the Fury fight, he's going to be completely mentally shattered. I think he's already mentally fucked. After the third Fury fight, he's going to be even worse. Put him against the wall.
Yeah, you can name a list of things why he's, because the injuries, like you said, mentally shattered, possibly. He started late, and the curse of a puncher. He's always going to want to rely on punching power. Not going to want to explore other avenues. Many things, especially the injuries. He's going to get injured every time out.
Yeah, he's in his mid-30s now, entering his mid-30s. Injuries, it takes longer to heal.
Look, let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Deontay Wilder has done fantastic, really. When you look at the limited skills he's got, the money he's made, the fucking, the title defenses, whether you say they're cans or not, which they were, he still did he got the best out of himself when it comes to making money. I mean, like I said, he's going to be rich for a very long time. And a guy so limited, you've got to take it out to him. But I don't think this is the sort of guy that can handle another defeat. He's going to have another $20-30 million in the bank. He's fucking mentally shot as it is. I don't think he's a strong-minded guy at all. I think even in the build-up for the second Fury fight, I saw he tried to play it calm, but I just don't think it suited him. I think Wilder does have to get himself riled up a little bit, but he just tried to play cool and calm. And then when fight night came, the lights were on him. The occasion, he realised what sort of occasion it was, and he fell to pieces. The pressure got to him. So for me, another defeat. There's no road back for this kid. So I could see Deontay Wilder retiring after the fight.
He will take the fights too because it's in the contract. And what do you think? He's a proud man.
I see him retiring
pride.
after
What do you think about the pride?
Listen, Gonzalo, I see him retiring after that fight. I see him losing it, and I see him retiring. I mean, people talking about Wilder Dubois. Do you think Deontay Wilder is going to be getting up for Daniel Dubois when he's just been knocked out by Tyson Fury again?
Money.
What money? No, hey, Frank Warren. Where's Frank Warren going to find $20 million to fight Daniel Dubois?
Don't make no business.
The UK, man.
Listen, look. You just take your hate goggles away for a minute, right? This is what Wilder gets now. Wilder's not. When fighters don't start taking pay cuts here,
that's right. Even if you lose,
listen, whether you agree he gets that or not is another story. But listen, that guy's been getting 20, 30 million in his, his last few fights. I think, what did he get? 20 million to fight Ortiz. I think he made 30 million against Fury. He's going to make another 20 million in the next fight. Are you going to get Deontay Wilder to fight Daniel Dubois for what? $3 or $4 million?
10 million?
Well, I don't think Wilder's hungry enough to do that, mate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why take a big risk with a fucking monster like Dubois when he's got no belt on the line for it? He's taken a massive pay cut and his fucking confidence is shot to pieces. I just don't think he'll have the stomach for it.
Hey, he turned down 120 million. Legacy. Didn't he turn down, how much was it? $120 million? From the Zone or some shit? Won't that always be in the back of his mind, though? The fact that he could have made that much money?
No, I was going to mention that, but I was going to say what legacy? He doesn't really have a legacy, but look, he took the two Fury fights. That kind of into Joshua. What do you think?
Yeah. People should be calling for Daniel Dubois to be fighting Hrgovic. People like that. Joyce, Hrgovic.
Yeah.
Even then, they move up. Even a Derek Chisora v Daniel Dubois. Can you imagine that?
I don't understand. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are good fights too. But then again, he beats Hergovic, or who did Hergovic beat? Who was Hergovic? Now
yeah, but listen,
put him
look,
against
Hergovic.
Wilder. Listen,
No,
this is
it's
what
one of
I'm.
them fights. Look,
Yeah,
it's one of them fights where they have early on in their career, like James DeGale Groves, when they had that fight, did it hurt them?
you're right. You're
When
right.
Groves went on
But
to win that after 12, 13 fights they fought, did it hurt them? No, they both went on to become world champions, make a lot of money. Sometimes you got to take chances when you're ready. And like, if Dubois beats Joyce, then Hergovic will be another good challenge for him with a different style. That'll suit him. I think he can beat Hergovic, and then he's
Can,
ready for
okay,
can
the
I
next
come in
level.
on this topic?
Go ahead, Mark. Yeah, go on.
I think it's a bit soon. Like Wilder loses to Tyson Fury, and now people are like that. Everyone under the sun is just gonna walk in and beat that man.
I said exactly the same, Mark.
I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit much. Like I think it really is. I think there's genuinely too much hate on them. Like he's not a terrible fighter. Dude could knock nearly anybody out in that division on any given night. He really can. He's got a tremendous punch. And Dubois, what? He beats Fujimoto, and all of a sudden he's able to beat Deontay Wilder. Fujimoto went the distance with Shawashida, who got knocked out by Golovkin in 2 rounds. This is the caliber we're talking about here. He hasn't fought anyone to prove anything.
Joe Joyce.
I don't know people like who.
If he
can beat Joe Joyce, hold on, Bujo. If he can even beat Joe Joyce, but I think if he beats Joe Joyce, if you want him to step up, if you really want him to step up, put him in there with Luis Ortiz. Genuinely, put him in there with Luis Ortiz. If he beats Luis Ortiz,
yeah, but wouldn't you rather see Chisora than that? Wouldn't you rather see Chisora than Ortiz?
I can't see Chisora working with Frank Warren ever again.
I don't know. Yeah, I can. Chisora says that.
The thing is,
Chisora says that about someone. He said, "Look what he wanted to fucking beat the living shit out of David Haye. Look who he's his manager now." So I wouldn't to take too much what Chisora says.
Yeah, but Frank hates both of them. It's Frank.
Yeah.
It's not them two. It's Frank.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I don't understand. Historically, we've had young champions. We have boxers at 22, 23 becoming. All of a sudden now they gotta be 27. You know, it's like fuck.
No, it's not an all of a sudden or anything like that. People grow at different rates. Everybody grows at different times.
We'll
I'm not
see.
saying
Joyce is better than Ortiz.
Wilder isn't that. All of a sudden,
I'm not.
Listen, Fury beats Wilder, and this is what I'm hearing. Okay, yeah, he lost against Fury, but Wilder wouldn't lose against anybody else. He would only lose to Fury. How do you know? Well, let's find out. Put Fury against Dubois. Like
Fury against Dubois?
Sorry, what?
You said put Fury against Dubois?
I'm saying, no, sorry, Jesus Christ. Put Wilder against Dubois because everybody's saying Wilder lost to Fury, but he would only lose to Fury. I'm like, okay.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that he would only lose to Fury. But what people are saying is people need to come over, stop with the idea that everybody's going to go in there. You're sending in a 22-year-old unproven kid to fight against Deontay Wilder. Right? This is the situation. If he goes in there and he knocks him out, all of a sudden, he's a very big contender. If he gets sparked in 1 round, Deontay Wilder beat a hype job.
I don't think Wilder has enough skills, man. I think Dubois is taking away Fury from Wilder's record. I think he's better than all of these other guys. Luis Ortiz, I mean, probably Ortiz he's a good boxer, just too old.
Get him to fight Luis Ortiz.
He's 60-something. What I'm saying is Dubois is much better than Gerald Washington, than Molina, than who else?
Is he? Has he fought them?
Oh, yeah.
Is he better than them? Who's he beat that's better than them?
I'm just saying, looking at the guy, how he boxes, he's much better than these other guys. Look, come on. Look at the Molina fight. That guy sucks. That guy's not even in shape. Let's start with that. A lot of these guys that fought Wilder are out of shape, man. And then on top of that, they sucked. They sucked, man. Listen, I think Dubois has a good chance against Deontay Wilder. I think Dylan White knocks him out. And I was saying that even before he got destroyed by Fury. Wilder is overrated. I've always said that. And his right hand is overrated as well. He knocks out guys that are bombs, basically. I don't know, man. I give it. Listen, it would be a dangerous fight for Dubois, but he has a good chance. To start saying that, the experience has to come into play. What experience? What the fuck? What experience? I'll tell you. How did? This is what I asked. When did Deontay Wilder's experience ever come into play in any of his fights?
When did injuries? The injuries are kind of going against him.
Okay, he has no experience. That's the thing. No IQ. No, he only has a right hand. All right, let's go into the the phone lines over here. 443, you're on the air. 443.
How you doing?
What's up? Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Yep, you're on the air.
It's Troy. Troy from Baltimore.
Perfect. What's on your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. This whole subject about this young man, Du Bois and Wilder. I can tell you what it is. Whoever just made that comment about Wilder's experience ever coming into play, that was a great comment. He's never had any experience to come into play against anybody because he wasn't fighting anybody that needed.
Good point.
You can't tell me one fighter that he really needed to do anything with, right?
When he tore his
Of
right
course he's gonna
bicep
say
against
what-
Areola and he jabbed his head clean off his fucking pants. That
I
was
was just gonna say that,
experience.
Areola.
That's physical advantages, man. He's tall as fuck, man. That's not experience. I'm sorry.
Where was Anthony Joshua's physical advantage against Ruiz in the first fight?
He's not.
Exactly.
There's always
What do you mean
been tall
exactly?
fighters. They've been
Experience, he
fighting
got
taller
jumped
than
on the guy and got
They've been
dropped.
7-foot fighters.
Nah, he has no
Yeah,
experience.
he
I'm
didn't use
sorry.
his experience, did he?
What's that?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead,
mean,
caller.
as far
We'll
as
get the caller first. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. As far as his height, they've been 7-foot fighters and all that stuff. It's not the height, it's the skill, which Fury proves. He's a big guy and he has skill. It's not his height and his size. If you take his height and his size away and you make him the same height and size as Dillian White, and he fights the same way, he's still going to be difficult, right?
Yeah.
Because of his skill. It's not so much. It's basically what you know and how you apply it, and that comes down to fundamentals. It's just that simple. Now, do I think Wilder will take this fight? No, because it has no upside for him at all. Because, okay, let's say he beats Daniel. What does he gain? Nothing. And let's say that Daniel catches him and Daniel's power is real, because I've never seen Daniel fight. I've just heard about him. Let's say Daniel catches him, knocks him out some way, in the middle rounds. All of a sudden, it's back to square, is back to, oh, he's a bum, and it's back to square one with Wilder. So it's a lose-lose situation. But for Daniel's people, it's a brilliant move because now his name is being thrown out there, and his name is over here now, and people are starting to ask, who is Daniel? Before, they didn't care who he was because nobody knew who he was. But now they're starting to ask, who is this guy? Right?
Yeah.
And
That's right.
That's how you build interest, and that's how you really start to build a young career. And what he has to do now, once all of this clears up, the quarantine and the virus, is to get in there with people who have actually fought Wilder. Don't, take someone who's fought Wilder and then say, okay, well, Deontay knocked him out in the fifth. You try and knock him out in the third, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you just keep going down the line like that. But what you do, each fight has to be a step up. You can't just plug someone in the ring with him and say, okay, fight him and drop him and make your name, because if you do, you have Deontay Wilder all over again. My last point is this brother that's over here now, F.A. Jaffa, that's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ife Ajagba, yes,
People
the
are
Nigerian
saying
guy.
now, well, he got dropped and he's struggling. That's a beautiful thing, because you know what? His people are building a naturally tough, durable fighter. I'm not saying they're in there trying to kill him, but if you watch him, he's ground zero still. And the fact that he's taking on these guys who could actually hurt him, and he's finding ways to take them out at such an early stage in his career, that's a beautiful thing, because you don't want to be 35, 34, 30, anything, or late 20s, and then you get dropped and you don't even know how to hold, you don't know how to pivot, you don't know what to do. You start flailing like like this guy who can't fight on the street. You learning now. So the fact that he got dropped and he might have not looked great in his last couple of fights, that's actually a beautiful thing to me, because I see what his people are doing. His people are teaching him how to be a durable fighter. Once you teach a fighter how to be durable and steady, that's how you build greatness. Anthony Joshua, perfect example of that. He's gonna be viewed as great in the long run. Yeah, have a good day, man.
Thanks for the call. Good point. You need setbacks.
Yep. Totally agree. Yep. He got dropped, and he was able to drop that guy many times, and he weathered the storm. Ife Ajagba. Yep.
So what are we talking about?
I think it's more like a hypothetical, Bucho. I don't think that I agree with the caller, and I don't know why you made like this just because Frank Warren said that this fight would take place, but I don't think you actually believe that it will take place either. It's just like the hypothetical of a fighter like him that's so young at 22 calling this guy out, and if it would actually happen, what would happen? Just like the whatchamacallit, just the idea of it, would he beat us a guy like Dubois, or would Dubois beat him?
Dubois.
Dubois, yeah. I don't think it would ever happen, but it's just curious, like, to think if it ever did happen, would this guy be able to beat Deontay Wilder at the stage that he is now? Right? Is that what you meant by it?
Yeah, exactly. But hold on before I continue. Let's take another phone call.
I'm gonna get off for that.
All right,
get
man.
off and start lay down and get me head down, bro. Been tired.
All right, man. Thanks for the donation and thanks for joining
Oh,
us.
no worries, man. Forget about that. Pleasure. I'll see you guys later. Yeah.
All right.
Later, Stuart.
Let's take another phone call. 804. You're on the air. 804.
What's up, BDA? What up, everybody? This is D. Jeff, man. D. Jefferson.
Hey, what's up, man?
So when we talking about Wilder,
And Dubois.
like I was listening to some of these guys, man. I was listening to a lot of people, really, but here's the thing, man, with Deontay Wilder, and just my opinion on it. You have to, with any fighter, when you talk about getting them better and everybody's talking about what he has to do, I think that a lot of people are missing the fact that when you get this far in your career, there are certain habits that you have that you need to get rid of. And Wilder has a lot of those. But also, they're talking about instilling certain habits in him, right? At this point, it ain't enough fucking time to get all of that done, to break his bad habits and to instill good habits in him by the next fight. It's not enough time.
Yeah.
So I hear what a lot of people are saying that, well, what you got to do is this, what you got to do. Okay, all of that's logical, but it ain't enough fucking time for Wilder by the next fight. The dude is going to get his ass beat again. And like I said before, anybody's fighting of Jesus Christ in this corner, and he's going to lose that fight, bro.
Yeah. And this is a good point. I remember Arturo Gatti when he started training with Buddy McGirt. He did change his style, but later on, as the fight progressed, as Gatti got tired, as maybe the fight started getting tougher, he would revert back to his old ways, to his instincts. I think it would be the same thing with Wilder because of his age. Maybe he would tweak certain things, but later on in the fight, he would revert back to the old ways. So there's no helping this guy.
I mean, and that's just like for all of us. Like I used to be in a lot of street fights and shit, and when the chips get down and you're losing, you revert to what the fuck you know.
You don't think anymore. Yeah.
Wilder's been doing this his entire career, so we're supposed to change all of that in one fight? He's been doing that literally his entire career. They've tried to show him stuff. It's been talked about before. They've tried, and then he'll get in there, he'll get flustered and go back to the fucking windmilling and lollipopping and shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a sad story.
Still, D. Jefferson.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is good. The D. Jefferson, the windmilling and all that still has been effective for him. So even if he could change, if I were Wilder, I wouldn't change. I just stick to the same. Doesn't mean I'm gonna win. It's a hit or miss.
Russian roulette.
It works for me. Yeah.
Well.
But Gonzalo, you have to pay attention to who it's working against. See, when you tried that shit against Fury, it don't fucking work. So that shit's gonna work against these low level fights.
Since the third fight's still happening, that's what I would do. I'd go into a firefight because I'm still gonna lose boxing, and if I have one chance to win, is to clip the guy first. But I see what you're saying. Totally.
Yeah. Good point. Go ahead, D.
All right, guys. So I just really wanted to come drop that, bro.
All right.
Appreciate you guys, everything you do, BDA. Thanks for letting me call in, bro.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Take care.
All right, bro.
Later, D.
It was Bucho, by the way. But all right. I think it's Virtuoso again. 929. You're on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so since Frank Warren is confident in Dubois beating Wilder, do you believe that he has a long-term goal of matching up him against Tyson Fury, since they're both represented by him?
Hey, if Tyson Fury is gonna box until he's like 40 or something, then sure, I think so. Yeah, that's a good. Why not?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to ask, because I was asking that earlier and I never got that question answered. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
all I wanted to know. I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, well, it would make sense. It makes money. Makes sense. All right. Anything else?
All right.
All right.
No, I'm
Take-
good, man. I just wanted to ask that.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Take care. All right, guys. We're gonna end the show. It's been more than 2 hours. So, Gonzalo, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
and everybody else in the chat, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. I think there's a second Renaissance with Mr. BDA, so check out our second channel, The Second Renaissance. Let me just post a link in the description. If you don't know about The Second Renaissance, it's another YouTube channel that we have, and we talk about anything and everything. So it's pretty funny and interesting. All right. I want to thank everybody who joined us and also everybody who donated today. So let's give a shout out.
Can I say one last thing? Bucho?
No. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Basically, what I was trying to say is that like, Wilder is who he is. If he's limited, his best chance of him winning any fight would continue to be the guy that he is, the Wild Wilder. It is what it is. It is what you get. You get what you get in him.
All
The
right.
Wild Wilder probably works better than the guy that's going to be a good boxer.
The Wild Wilder against Dylan White. The thing is,
Maybe.
he will
Probably
be stepping
not.
it up. He won't be fighting Molina again. That's the thing. He won't be fighting Gerald Washington anymore. So I don't know if fighting like that is gonna be ever effective again. I think it's over for Wilder. He has to do some change. I don't know. Anyways, let's stop talking about Wilder. Steven Schneider, thank you for your contributions. Stuart Little, of course. Thank you for the contribution. Mike P, as always. Thank you. Virtuoso and Pompey85. Thank you for the donations. And I want to thank, again, everybody in the chat. We will see you next time, all right? Take care.
Hey, is Wilder a good guy? He's a good guy, huh? Good guy.
He's
all
a good
right. It's just the fans. Yeah, he's got a good heart.
I think he's a
He's a-
good
he's a
guy.
good
He just
guy.
sometimes says a lot of stupid things. Sometimes he doesn't think properly. Like he doesn't think what he says. He says what
That's
he
right.
thinks. He says what he thinks. All right, let's move on.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry. One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man. I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
Just kill the fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing.
Lobito!
You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.